Good afternoon. We're at Green Hill Reserve in downtown Wallen for the big clash of the day, a final game between Romsey and Macedon, the Macedon Cats. And joining me today in the commentary box is none other than the maestro of Mitchell, Matt Arnott.
Good afternoon, David. What a great day to be here. The weather at Wallen has greeted us with a sunnier day than we had the last time we were here, where it was a tempest of a storm. So we're looking out to what could be a fantastic final.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and there's nothing better than being involved in finals footy, is there?
Oh, it's exciting. You can always get a feel of it too. The numbers in the crowd there, the cars are all the way around the field here. Both clubs, obviously, with no home ground advantage, so they've travelled themselves, and have they brought an entourage. And
Tony back in the studio, Tony Wirtz, the guru of the station. He's looking after the connection because we're in partnership with the RDNFL today, coming to you also on Facebook, RDNFL.
Yep.
And you can get us on the live stream there. Don't forget our radio broadcast is also going to radio stations across the Mitchell Shire, and that is 97.1, Matt.
Wait, you threw me for a second there.
98.3 in Kilmore, 97.1 in Wallen, and if you're at the ground, 89.2. So if you are sitting in your car and listening to the radio, you can get us all day. No delay, by the way. It's a direct broadcast, 89.2. And www.okrfm.com.au. And don't forget what I said before about our partnership with Red Onion for the video on RDNFL Facebook.
Exactly, and we're excited about this. This is a culmination of great efforts in the last few weeks to get all these parties together, and can't help but say how professional the Red Onion team's been. So it's great to have them on board.
And we're in the box today, of course, for the timekeepers from the footy teams, and we're happy to have them here because they can identify players that we have to imagine even sometimes.
We even though this is all a really well-structured process, there's always that mystery player. We have to try and find out who they are. So hopefully we'll have that translated for us.
The Ghosts. And yesterday we were down at Romsey Park for a final between Diggers and Wallen.
Which was, in my mind, a demolition, unfortunately, but we did see a couple of major highlights where we think we may have seen the goal of the year.
Goal of the year, I think, is unquestionably the one where two players in the goal square, right on the goal line, Matt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go back to that point because you're still excited by it, aren't you?
Oh, it was a brilliant tactic there by Wallen. They were bringing the ball out wide to the wings, coming down to the pockets, then centering the ball right in front of the goal square. And as this ball's coming across, I can only say it was like an Argentinian cross from the corner and a Pele-like scissor kick that put the ball on the lob, on the full, straight through the middle there. It was a fantastic side of our game.
And by the way, we've watched young Greenlee develop over the years, haven't we, from being a scrawny kid into one of the most influential players in the competition now.
Very adaptive, and just goes to show you how skilled his balance was when he got that goal to go through. And maybe due to the fact that the game was probably done and dusted by then, it was allowed for a little bit of creativity. But boy, was it a highlight.
And 2 weeks in a row, almost an identical result for Wallen, and a very impressive outing for Wallen. I thought they demonstrated their capacity to perhaps go all the way.
I saw from them not only a way that they approached their game on the day, which differed from the week before. Yes, the scores were very similar, but they took apart that opposition there with Diggers by taking different approaches and different avenues. And I was impressed with them. So yeah, good luck to them.
And don't let us forget that there's another big game on at Whittlesea today, Whittlesea Showgrounds, where the Kilmore Blues are taking on their arch rivals, Old Eltham Collegians.
The Turtles.
The Turtles, that's true. We've discovered at Turtle Bay. In fact, it's in Hawaii as well as being in New York near the United Nations building.
That's exactly right.
And so thanks to the age for that. And by the way, I've got another trivia question for you today.
Okay.
Here's the trivia question. You'd remember this, but Bill Harley and the Comets.
Yes. Rocking around the clock.
That's right. Blackboard Jungle.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Bill Harley and the Comets. And I'm getting a phone call, I think, and this will be from Tony about recording.
Okay.
But go on.
Look, I'll cover the ground.
Going,
while we're waiting for that, the first of the teams have come out here. So Macedon has made their way out there in their traditional hoops.
Yes, Tony.
Looks like the Geelong team, if that's a good description for you. They've made their way out and doing their regular transition around the square and exercising out. Now, folks, there is a tale of two cities with this ground today. On the side that's closest to us in our commentary area, it is a quagmire. The ground is unsettled, it's turned over, there's mud, there's even small pools of water we can see. But on the far side, it's surprisingly dry, hard underfoot. So we're potentially going to see two types of football. We're going to see potentially a slow-moving game on the outside, on this side, where skills are going to need to be incredibly tight, incredibly good, to the point now that there's also going to be a requirement from the other side of the ground to see if the game can be moved much quicker, much faster, and that way providing for us possibly that the ability of a fast-moving team can actually take over as well. No coverage? Okay, we'll continue on from here, So, in a sense here, folks, as you're watching from your view right now, where our camera's panning around, that far side there, beyond the actual centre square there, that is the quickest side of the ground. That's got a lot of hardness to it. So, fingers crossed, we'll probably see a team that can adapt for two types of football. Now, David, just a heads up for you, I took the opportunity to drop down and have a quick chat to the coach of Romsey, who was door open and keen to actually cover for us, and he's excited about the prospects today, and he believes the fast-moving football that his team he prides himself on can actually do it. Now, Romsey's just made their way out onto the field now, so they're making their way around. Macedon, though, David, well, their door was closed, and it was very much a cone of silence down there at the moment. So both teams obviously taking this game with the seriousness it deserves.
Okay, what I was going to say before about Bill Haley, of course, that band had a different name when they started. They changed their name. I don't know that you'd remember what the original name was, would you?
Far away for me. What was the name?
No, I think we'll keep it in abeyance and see if anybody else happens to know.
Who knows? Tony might call through.
Yeah, the coach of Macedon, I think, is Alistair Meldrum. Is that right? And he's a Bowen Medal winner, by the way. I bet you didn't know that. And he's also a four-time best and fairest winner. And the goal kickers for Macedon this year have been Cook has kicked 51, Matt, and Knox has kicked 10. And for Romsey, Walsh has kicked 24, Patterson 23, Jedwab 21, and May 16. You notice the difference? There have been two elemental goal kickers for the bulk of Macedon's scores, and 4 or 5 for Romsey.
So if Romsey's approach here is to nullify Cook's impact on the team, you see the challenge there, just statistically finding from numbers-wise, they're going to find it difficult to find multi-goal scorers.
And, you know, it's unfortunate that Macedon have not beaten the team above them on the ladder this year yet. And they've beaten everybody below them, of course, to get into the finals, but haven't beaten anybody above them. But the games have all been close. The maximum difference in the scores with Romsey have been 12 points.
There you go. So this will be a real test today. The toss has just been made there, and Romsey's come out the victor on that. They're going to head down to the southern end, or what we call the beverage end, or the Arctic end, with Macedon heading to the northern end, or the Broken Hill end, we like to call it. And just so you know, folks, it's that northern end which has got an extremely muddy forward line. That leading potential in that space there is going to be arduous, to say the least.
I wonder, can we just check if there's a radio here so that we can see if it's coming through, mate?
Yeah,
that's what we did yesterday. No transistor with us?
No, not with us at the moment.
All right, not to worry. We'll soldier on and see what happens. Kilmore and old Eltham was speaking about before the interruption, and the reality is that there's been very few points difference.
Well, their last game was a quintessential, game of a goal after the siren that decided the game, correct? So, it's a pretty. Those two teams have started to begin to have a reputation or a relationship where they're down to 6-point difference in every time we play the game. So, at this point in time, we'll be walking out now that both teams have broken into their huddles, if you can see there, folks. They've already taken the time to have the last lot of information that's been called out from the captains. So hopefully this is reinforcement what the coaches just said. Macedon, probably the early breakaway now that they've got into their positions. I notice the forwards up there are having a bit more of an extended chat just to work out what they're doing. Romsey have taken their time, getting those last barked orders there from the captain. And now they'll make their way into their positions, and what will potentially only moments away from the start of this exciting game here between Romsey and Macedon.
The last time that Macedon was successful in a grand final of premiers was 2017, but Romsey are the most successful team in the RDFNL from a premiership perspective, Matt. They are the most successful team over the years, and we commend them for that. The captain today, Blair, is an outstanding footballer apparently, and we look forward to watching him on the ground today. So it's all set for a major game. Nice weather, as you point out. We're not even going to get, what's her name?
Jane Bunn. Won't be dropping down today, I don't think.
We don't need her today, and it just looks fantastic, doesn't it, across the ground here? You did mention that you've walked on the ground, Matt.
It is this side, close to us, as you can see by the footage. If you are watching, folks, that is soft underfoot. The far side there, a lot harder, a lot faster. Look for those wings on the far side there to get a lot more speed from it. Good to see that the players here, when they meet, they're shaking hands. It's all in the best intentions. A lot of excitement now as the umpire. I think she's making her way to collect the ball now, so we're only moments away from the siren, David.
This is the young woman that we watched umpire 2 weeks ago in the Wallen Clash, and we were very impressed with her.
Indeed she was. David, take us away, please.
Here it is. We're ready. The big clash. Romsey versus Macedon. The Macedon Cats. Look out for the ruckman playing here. Here they go. Big contest and knocked away easily. Oh, nice clearance. Romsey have taken it up to the centre half forward position. Immediately gathered by Macedon. Gone to the ground. And a big scrimmage. And the umpire come in and take control of that, I think. And that'll be another bounce up, Matt.
That's Barnett there, who was able to lock the ball down there for Macedon and stop a fast kick-off there by Romsey. Up it goes from the umpire. No one really got control of that one. Knocked back down into the pack. It gets fished out through the bottom there, but again, quickly wrapped up. This is a sign of how fast these two teams are able to tackle. If you get possession of the ball, you've got under a second to get rid of it. So they've got to be clean and they've got to be fast. The umpire steps back. Up it goes. The rucks jump. Win there through to Romsey. Tap down. A tackle without the ball. Yep, the umpire's picked that one. Free kick to Romsey here. That's a second possession for that player. We're going to pick out who that is there with the blonde hair there coming through. As he hopefully turns around in a second. That's number 3 there for Romsey. That's Pertzel there, who got the ball out of the centre with the first run now. I'm not sure about the range for him here. When he kicks this, he's just beyond the 50. So we're going to look back towards the goal area there. No one's making a lead for him for any kind of benefit. But he is actually going to go the distance if he can. So
man on the mark has gone back a little distance, so don't get tricked by that.
Yep, there's the kick. It's got not enough height to it, not enough depth. A mark and attempt there, knock away, hits the ground running and knocked through for a minor score. So there's our first score for the day. Romsey, a minor one, 0-1-1. Macedon yet to score here on our Woolworths scoreboard.
And isn't it terrific to actually have a scoreboard where we can see the score?
As opposed to be sitting underneath it.
It's coming out onto the western side of the ground, the commentary side of the ground. They rise for the ball. They can't get it. That's Pertzel again. Kicked it back into the forward pocket. Over the back of the pack. It's going towards the scoring line. Kicked it off the ground across the face of goal. They go to the ground. Picked up by Romsey, and that's a nice looking kick. And the goal umpire says, unfortunately, it's gone across the face of goal and only 1 point again. That takes it up to 2 points, but 2 scoring shots in the matter of a few minutes.
Well, Romsey's taking the lead here. A lot of pressure. We're not seeing the rest of the ground here, folks. Everyone is down on the other side. Almost everyone's inside almost the 50-metre arc here for Romsey, as now the full back for Macedon will look down the ground on the far side. Nope, changed his mind, heading back out now to the what I call the wet side of the ground. Up it goes there. No one can hold the mark. Hits the ground. The bodies dive in. Attempted to fish the ball out there. Tapping across the ground. It's the intensity from both teams is equally high. So this is going to be really quite interesting here. The umpire's going to take this one, David. 50-metre arc, looking to ball it up again.
Scrimmage after scrimmage at the moment. They're edging each other up, looking for an opportunity to take ascendancy. The rucks fly. No real contest winner there. Ball's gone to the deck. It looked like a Selwood group where he put his head down. The umpire said that's holding the ball. Not a free kick around the neck and a bit of scuffling, but he'll take a free kick for Romsey. That's a hand pass. Left-handed hand pass. Got him. That's got him. He ran off, handballed, and lost possession of the footy, so the Macedon Cats have got the footy in their hands once again.
That's excellent defence by Macedon. They took an opportunity there to watch in case the running man went by. Now they go to this fat side of the ground, as I said before. It's got a bit of freedom, a bit of open space there now too, and the players will move a little quicker. The Macedon player there undecided on which direction to go. It's a contested kick, goes down far, and the only winner here is going to be the boundary line for our first throw in and our first kind of foray forward for Macedon. If you noticed in there, folks, you would have seen that not only are the players looking to move the ball quickly, but their opposition are noticing them do that and trying to shut them down as quickly as they can.
Right near the terrific digital scoreboard, and look at that boundary throw in. You couldn't get a kick as far as that.
That's a catapult.
It's gone to the deck, and nobody can get possession of the footy. They're struggling for it, can't get it clear. Macedon hit out, but couldn't take a second possession. Ball's on the ground now and jumped right in the middle of his back. I would have paid that a free kick if I had the whistle in my hand, but the umpire says I'm coming in to throw it up.
Yeah, the intention there by a few of the Macedon players, they're Wright and Doyle there getting down and in and under. So that's got to be impressive. And so is Baggs there as well. Tap back down. Probably a minor win there for Macedon, but kicked out by the smaller men for Macedon going forward. It pops out the side there. It's a lucky dip at the moment, how it ricochets out. Finally bending down to get it. Macedon move it out with a handball. Quick pick up there and a kick inside the attacking 50 for Macedon. Outnumbered 2-1. Out they come and no one can get it. And it's the boundary line that eventually wins here. So Macedon making small inroads forward, getting 15, 10 metres every time there's a congestion, and now they're inside their attacking 50. A chance, David, for them to get a score.
Well, they're within scoring range. Boundary umpire again. Look at that throw. It's massive, isn't it? It's Olympic standard. Ball's gone to the front of the pack after no winner in the ruck, and it's on the deck again. And they struggle for it. Cheap little wolf. Oh, no, it's a free kick, I think. The umpire has signalled, take it, son. And that's the Cats. A hand pass again. They've done that a couple of times now. He's kicked it towards the goal, Matt. And over the back. And a nice Bendigo bank saver of the day play by the defender.
That was Superman-esque. We're going to make sure this player running out here back. I think might be number 1 there. That might be Blair for Romsey, who dived through the air. Yep, it was Superman-esque there to actually save what would have been a certain goal. So that puts the score, Romsey 2 points, Macedon 1. Obviously accuracy is worth its weight here as Romsey looked to try and get out of that defensive space. Excellent kick, excellent pass straight onto the chest.
That looks like Nenham. He's got the ball half-back flank about where the boundary throw-in occurred before that scoring effort around the outer side of the ground. In high kick's gone about 50 metres. What's the umpire doing?
He's bringing it back here. I'm not sure if he went over the mark properly.
Well, I think he's got to go back behind the mark. Perhaps that's true, but I'm not sure that's a worthwhile thing to do when the ball's being played on.
A chance to man up, so there should be no one free. But look in the middle of the ground here, David, right by the umpire. Boom. There's a player there by themselves. They're making the leads, Romsey. They're making those moves clear. And here's that free player I was talking about.
Raymond.
Bang, straight in the middle. Got him. So they're actually pushing off, moving it quickly, and trying to get the handballs. The balls, though, is difficult to control. It might have been a bit high. It is. And they're taking, that's again that Purcell
he's a go-to player by the look of it.
And the pass, high punch there.
Bang.
And straight over the shoulder. So Romsey now playing the freeze to their advantage. That's number 12 there in Patterson.
There's two of them.
Quickly to the top of the square. There's no one there. And bang. That was effective. He took the opportunity to know that no one from Macedon was on the goal line there. He backed himself and now reaps the reward. So Macedon, 1 goal, 1-7. Romsey, 2 straight points.
What scoreboard is that, Matt?
That's on the Woolworth scoreboard.
On the Woolworth, the fresh food people. And that kick, which resulted in a score, was the Bendigo Bank unsaver of the day.
Well, Blair was the architect of that one for those extra efforts.
I think he's the captain, by the way.
Yeah, and it just shows you that those little 1%ers make a difference. Because that was done, that set up the goal down the ground, which went coast to coast really without too much contact.
And quite a good goal. I liked it, but should have been a defender on the goal line. That's a good ruck throw up, and the Romsey lads got it away, but another bit of work by the Cats. In the hands of Tinkler. Tinkler's kicked it into the centre of the ground, pushed in the back, perhaps no, play on. The umpire says no. The umpire says the reverse. It's in fact going the other way, and the Cats are going to take possession of the footy.
To my knowledge, an incorrect disposal potentially there with a knock away there, kind of a punch up into the air, which is probably very ineffective. But the short kick there, leading player, bang, straight to the chest. That's number 34 there.
Kernan, that is.
Kernan there too. So here's a chance to go inside the 50. A short, sharp pass. It's gone wide. Looking for number 9 in Cook. He quickly hands or kicks it off there. But the only victor there is the boundary line at the forward flank part there for Macedon. Chance for them to go forward, but not as cleanly as Romsey has been doing.
In the AFL, it would have been deliberately out of bounds, wouldn't it? But not in this competition, and we're thankful for that. I think the guy made a legitimate attempt to get it up the ground. Big high throw up again, massive. But the ruckman came to the ground, got the ball to the ground. They've got possession of the footy. The Romsey lads gone towards the boundary line. It's going to go over again, and the boundary umpire gets another chance to exercise his back muscles.
Quick score correction here. Sorry, that Romsey 1 goal 2-8, Macedon 1 point.
1 point.
7-point lead there to Romsey.
Yes, there it is. It's a Woolworths scoreboard, as you point out astutely. Look at that throw in. He's not even anywhere near the rucks, by the way. I don't know how far they go, but that's Olympic standard. And the ball's on the ground.
That's high. Yep.
The bloke getting the footy deserves the free kick, and he got it that time. And the Cats will take possession of the ball, centre wing, and looking to go to the northern end of the ground. Here it comes. The Cats have got the footy in their hands.
Chance here now down the wing, raising the ball up, looking for sort of contested mark. Numbers, no
Shocking
one's going to get that one. That's off the boot there. Out of bounds on the full, right in front of the scoreboard. Now a chance to retort here for Romsey. They'll look to come down the ground. Again, the slowness of the taking the ball here has allowed for the manning up aspect. A kick down into the contest again. Bodies dive up for it. No one can hold it. Hits the ground. The smaller men dive in on top. And then out it goes quickly there to Macedon. Fast moving, quick handballs, quick kicks. These are good sides of them, although now they've stopped and resettled themselves to have a look down the ground. Not many options to go with towards the boundary there on the wing, and that's the danger of it. The inaccuracy and the wind there is pushing it back out of bounds.
That's 2 in a row, out of bounds on the full. Something needs to be done about that. That's not a good result and a waste of effort.
Assistance by the spectators there to get the ball back there for number 9 there in I think it's Caddy there. So quickly, ball pass there, short, sharp pass to Romsey. And again, the leading player, bang out the back there, can't be held. Tackle then brought down. A quick attempt now. Now's a chance here for Macedon. If the kick's good, it's a little long over the top. Well played with the body, but hit the ground, trying to get it out. They're outnumbered 1 to about 4 here. So Romsey's got back with the cavalry well, and they're handballing it well out of defence. But extra pressure here by Macedon. They're not giving up, trying to push forward. And bend over the top now. It'll probably get locked in for a ball up. But that's a stoppage win by Macedon. The numbers were in Romsey's favour. They held their ground and kept the smothers, and now they're still inside their attacking 50.
Even 50 metres from goal, and the umpire's about to throw it up. There it goes. A ruck contest, not really a winner there.
Free kick over the shoulder. That's going.
Well, very lucky, I'd say. And he's allowed the play on the advantage. It's gone to the goal square, but picked up by the defender for the Romsey boys, and he's kicked it around underneath the Bermuda Triangle.
So, folks, if you are having trouble seeing that, so are we all there. But here we caught the Bermuda pocket because it's covered. A quick kick down the ground, looking down there for the active wings. Tap back over to number 12 there. And Patterson, he can't control it. Still pushing on to number 16, Sankley there. He handballs over the top. Very fast movement with the ball here. The kick's poor, but they're taking advantage of it. Hitting the ground there. It's scrappy, but they're trying their best.
Good
that's a throw to get flicked out, but it's been missed by the umpire. And a wrap-up tackle has brought the ball to the ground with a ball up just inside the attacking 50 here for Romsey.
Yes, that's where it is. Right on the half-forward flank in the scoring position, though. They kick goals from out on that side of the ground. And so there we go. The ball's been thrown up and a tackle comes back towards the centre wing and over the line and out of bounds once again.
Yeah, I think it is out of bounds, yep.
Just run over the line and out of bounds. No real effort there for anything. So here's the boundary umpire getting set to chuck it in again. He's looking around, sees it, trying to see if he can get it to where the ruckman is. The man on the other side throws it about 1,200 metres. Oh, that was nearly a push in the back with his leg, but gone to the ground. Picked up nicely by the ruckman. A beautiful hand pass into the hands of Tinkler. Tinkler's gone with the left foot up into the goal square, but not accurate, and it's gone through for another point, Matt, on the Woolworths, the Fresh Food People scoreboard. That's Romsey going ahead again. 1 goal 3-9 to 0-1. 1 point.
That little bit of extra pressure just as he made the kick there. He drew it across his body and in for a mono score. So again, good efforts by the defence, but they need to get this out. The kick's a shocker.
Oh, shocker.
And finds the captain.
That's the captain's got it, mate.
Hate to say this, but of all the people to pick out by accident, it's probably the worst person to pick out from Macedon's perspective. Blair, renowned captain with a good kick, will line up for a shot now in a distance which is Well, it's not that far at all. By the time he runs in, I'm saying about 40 metres or so, David.
Well, welcome to Tony, who's now got us on stream with OKR. Thanks for that, Tony. And there's Blair, the captain, and that's a nice-looking kick. There's no doubt the reason he's captain. He knows how to do it. Technique perfect. Didn't take the mouth guard out either. And that proves that you can do it. And what a nice goal. I liked it very much.
The umpire did not move a muscle. He watched that fly straight over his head. Really is a captain's goal. Not only a settler for the club, but that revs them up. Now the essence goes back onto Macedon. They need to respond to this and not let Romsey get another back-to-back. So as there is in the middle there's a bit of chat going on about changing the approach from the ruckman. Looking at number 15 there for Macedon. That's Dick there. He's looking to change things up a little bit. And as the umpire comes in, she's going to throw it up because it's not too good down there to bounce. And up she goes. Up they jump. Tap back down, straight to Dix. So the idea worked there. Overran it, did Romsey. Chance for Macedon. They handball to themselves straight into the mud. No one really wins out on that one. They've got extra men down there. They're diving on top, trying to flick it out. Energy is high there, and geez, those forward players are really trying to get some movement on this. But it looks like it's wrapped up, and she's going to have a ball up just inside the attacking 50, Macedon.
Took a bit of time to do that, and a bit of a scuffle and scrimmage there. Not pleasant to watch, but she's coming out to throw it in the air, half forward flank about 50 metres from goal for the Cats. A bit of a throw perhaps. Let's get on with the game, he said, and that's right. Kicked it towards the boundary line, out of bounds on the full by Romsey. The centre wing, right in the centre of the ground now, Matt.
Yeah, that's 2-1 in favour there of Macedon with out of bounds full, but now they get a chance to get back in. They're going to go long, try to get inside that 50. The wind holds it up. Chance here for a mark over the top. There was a punch over the shoulder there, but let go. Can't get control of it. Hands there quickly by Macedon. Out to the top of the circle. Running out to it as the full forward. Outnumbered 2-1. He can't get on, stay on his feet. He slips over. Handballing furiously. The umpire says no, didn't have an opportunity. And that again, strategically, gets it inside the 50. Gives Macedon a chance here. Now this is going to be slippery football, folks. Keep your eye on the players who stay on their feet. They'll get the reward. Up goes the ruck. Win there to Macedon. Good tap out. Knock to the ground. It's moving all around the place like a ricochet. Bodies dive on top, trying to get it back out. And again, finally it flicks out the back. Hard to get hold of because that's over the shoulder and in the back.
Surely.
So here's Macedon's chance. There's a bit of an argy-bargy, bit of a disagreement about the whole process.
Don't worry about it. The player
coming up is holding his noggin. That was hard-earned. That's number 30 there for Romsey. That's
Macedon.
Macedon. That's Straught there. This is going to be a tough kick, folks. Look at he handballs off quickly. Told no, he has to go over the mark.
He's got a bit of an obsession about it, this umpire, about this playing on and marks and all of that sort of stuff.
It's a short kick, the attempted lead.
Shocker.
Intercepted.
What a waste.
Good defensive play there by Romsey, finding number 36 there in Raymond. He'll come out on the far side here, looking for, that's Pertez. And he handballs it backwards, trying to now get out of that defensive area. It's a little bit messy with these handballs, but they are moving it. The kicks, though, not pleasant. Worm burner, to say the least. Handball over the head. Umpire lets that go. Trying to get control of it. It's not clean, and the tackles from Macedon are furious and gang-like.
Good tackle and good strong play. But and there's a push in the mush for you. How'd you like that one? And the umpire said, I saw that. You shouldn't do it in front of the umpire. That's certainly true. And he's paid up a free kick there for a quick push in the mush. So he's going to take possession of the footy, and now the ball's going relayed up the ground for 50 metres as well.
David, if I was the Macedon coach right now, I'd be apoplectic about that. They had worked hard to keep that in that forward 50. They held it in there and been competitive. Now, from a rush of blood, they line up for potentially, is that a shot at goal, really? I mean, it's potentially in range.
Well, he is. He's right on the 50-metre mark, and with the advantage of that 50 metres, which is too big a penalty in my view. And nevertheless, that's what happens, and we're waiting for something to occur now.
There's a changed blood rule, I think. Coming on there is number 20 there for Romsey. That's De Haas. He's coming on there. I'm not sure who was going off.
Yeah, the number 3 went off, I think.
Yep. So.
Yeah. Anyway, here we are. We're waiting for something to happen, and shortly we'll be waiting for the sun to go down if it doesn't happen soon. And I don't know. I'm getting older by the minute while we're watching.
He's lining him up finally. Have a look at the goal line, David. I think Macedon may have learned from that last goal. They've got a few tall timber back there this time who are covering the line. Quick handball off, bang, and a quick mark. Gets it on the 50-metre arc there. Again, not much distance gained there, probably the same, but slightly more difficult angle. But
well, I don't think they gained an inch there. In fact, he kicked it from way back behind the mark, didn't he?
Yeah, is that number 3 there, I think, for Romsey, or number 8 there? Is that Pertez now again? Yeah, 3 went off, so that's number 8 there. That's Brennan, who then followed through. Gee, he's got onto it.
High kick.
Now it's dropping short, and it's wide as well. So again, a minor score there for Romsey. So that takes them to 2-4-16. Macedon at the solitary point on the Woolworths scoreboard.
17-minute mark. So that's not a walk away by any chance, 2 goals or so.
Oh,
and that's a beautiful mark. I like that one. That guy did it beautifully. Got sneaked in front of the group and snaffle it in. 26. That's Peterson. And I'm not sure which of the Petersons it is, but one of these is a goal kicker for the year.
This is that is a real sniper-like effort there. It's the second time that Macedon's let a goal in from the kick out.
It's a good bit of play, Matt. I like the way he came in for it.
They're ever opportunistic as he comes in now. His approach is deathly straight. The kick's going from left. Good. Is it moving to right? No. There we go. 2 goals, 5-17 to the solitary point.
7 scoring shots to 1 at the 18-minute mark of the first stanza on the Woolworths scoreboard.
So 16-point lead here to Romsey.
But it's not a disaster, is it, at this point?
Now coming out, Macedon choose to go long and deep. Out they go wide. No one can get hold of that one. Tackle's a little bit high.
Couldn't
the
do
umpires
anything.
let it go. Didn't have much time with it. And she's going to ball it up here too. Probably a relative win there for Romsey. If that had popped out the back, Macedon would have been moving. But now's a chance here to get the extra troops around. This is the wet part of the ground here, folks. So look, there's a push off
there's
there.
A free kick,
and
surely.
She's done the shepherd push and then a punch there. This Macedon player here has got a bit of control of his temper. We're going to watch him for a bit here now as a handball goes off quickly, finding 36 in Raymond. A quick smother there by number 8 there. That's Dyer. And then a kick is swiftly down the ground to find number 18 there too. That's Newman. So Newman is looking
right on the 50-metre mark.
Get it inside to the top of the square, David. The numbers are there. They jump. No one can hold it. Hits the ground. People come diving in from different directions. No one really picking it up. And it looks like we might get it locked in there. If they can just draw it out, no, umpire will have that one ball up directly in front.
That's World Championship Wrestling. Only about 45 metres from goal at the Beveridge end of the ground. That's the southern end of the ground. Ruck throw up. Good contest in the ruck. No real winner. Ball went to the ground. The Cats pick it up, but they can't get it away. And another scrimmage pushed over the back. And there's a man right on the goal line. And that's a lesson learned. And kicked around the other side of the ground. That's Hoyne got it. And what's he done with it? He's kicked that up the centre wing to a man who's lead up, and it's got a red jumper on. That's Romsey has taken possession of that footy, and that's bad play, a bad kick. And he's done the same thing. In fact, the Cats have got possession of the footy. Who's that, mate? Cook. There's Cook. Is he not a goal kicker? Cook? He is. The timekeeper has just indicated to us that we've got it right. That's amazing, Matt.
Here's a first for everything.
It's a half-back flank. And the Cats have still got possession of the footy, but they're playing out of defence most of the time, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And they're having trouble getting a player on their own. Romsey doing a great chance of manning up. As up it goes, punch out the back and try and get the ball moving. Quick tackles there.
Whoa, that's holding the ball, Kanga.
You get a chance. And the umpire says, thank you very much. And ball number 5 there, Tinkler. He had it coming from left and right. So now
that's
Macedon,
Walker.
There we go. Macedon's got a chance to go inside. This is the problem with Macedon. There's too much coverage. And if we go to a contested mark, out the back there, can't be held. Number 21 there, trying to get away as Tassari. He couldn't, wrapped up, and a ball up. And Tassari, for all his efforts.
I love it when the game's right over here on the commentary side of the box, don't you, where we can see everything that's happening with plainness and clarity.
Easy to see, David. Your call.
So there we are, a ruck throw up. And no winner at all. The ball hit the ground before anybody touched it, and they jump on top of it like the old turtles from Eltham, mate. Did you see that?
Yeah, they buried on that one. They almost hatched the egg. The umpire there was the one who was switched on. No one else was, and both rucks missed that. Now's their chance to resettle things. Tap back down, no one's favour. Off the ground, doesn't go much further.
Oh, one of the hiccups.
But the acting wasn't believed. Quick chance here for number 1. Off the ground, couldn't get it away there. That was right. In go the bodies, out wide it goes. Chance for the running Romsey there in number 25. That's Walsh. He kicks over the top to the far side, looking for number 7. There's a foot race there. That's Jedwa. He centres the ball, but terrible choice.
Dropped it.
And finds Bullis, who now has the ball locked away, but now popping it back out. They're running it back down the wing. 1 on to 3 here. Romsey's favour. They should be talking.
Did all right.
But he got it out, and they've finally got it away now. There's a chance the pressure will continue, and on top they go. They're out towards that flank, but Romsey's got the pressure going forward. If this passes the man, it doesn't. Macedon, strength in conviction, trying to get out, but can't get that accurate pass. Boy, is it messy in there, and the pressure's intense. Again, a turnover back and forth, and there's a free kick here.
Going to the Cats.
Going to the Cats to get them out of that pressure cooker space there. That's 24.
That's Banks.
That's Banks.
Bags, as in bags.
Bags, yes.
That's it. Lucky we've got these chronographers with us today, isn't it? There it is, half-back flank. I think the ball is still in the hands of the Macedon Cats. And can they do something sensible with it this time? It's gone up to the centre wing, right near the boundary line, and in fact it's knocked over the line just about. I think, no, they've still got possession. The footy scuffled again, and the ball's gone across the chalk line. Used to be chalk in the old days. I don't know what it is now. What is it, limestone or something?
I think it's probably some kind of aluminum paint, mate.
Okay.
And it stays out. They've done a good job.
Would you go to Mitre 10 to buy that?
I certainly would.
There's a big throw-in. Look at that. It's the biggest throw-in you've ever seen in your life. I'm telling you, it's a massive. And the ball's gone to the deck, around the neck perhaps, and bad tackling. And the timekeepers have indicated that that's the end of the first stanza, Matt. And quite an interesting quarter, but Macedon wouldn't be overjoyed by the scoreboard at this stage with it reading. That's Woolworths for the Fresh Food People scoreboard, by the way. 2 goals 5-17 to Macedon 0-1. That's one scoring shot to 7. And generally speaking, you'd say Romsey on top for the bulk of that quarter.
Yeah, indeed so. But the only thing that are coming out of Romsey's concerns here is that that inaccuracy may actually cost them to some degree, potentially. That end that they were going down to, that southern end, has been traditionally a scoring end. It's been hard to get goals up at the other northern end. And 2-5, I would say 2 of those 5 points were legitimate shots that could or should have been goals. But to say that, there's lessons learnt out of this from Macedon. They're putting a man on the line. One of those goals that got through David, where a Romsey player took a shot where there was no one on the line. And that second element they're going to need to work on is the kick-outs, because 2 shots of goal, one ended up being a goal from a kick-out that went straight to a Romsey forward.
Happened 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
the disposals both sides has been subject to a bit of criticism, in my opinion. But, Matt, the meteorological reporting for this radio station is your good self.
Is indeed.
In the cause, what's the word? The attitude of Jane Bunn, as we know. But I've observed, and commonly I have this disagreement with you about the movement of the leaves and things, but there does appear to be at one end of the ground a bit of a movement of the leaves and not at the other end.
Yeah, and this is that challenge we have up here at Wallen, where plenty of teams who have visited who don't know the ground so well, is that there needs to be a change of approach when it comes to your goal kickers, especially set shots, seemingly, where the southern end traditionally is the goal scoring end, and we're seeing that here today. But it is very choppy and windy when the ball goes up high.
Is that a passing front down there, do you think, Jane Bunn?
Make a passing front.
No, is it the leaves are moving on the trees down at that end of the ground, aren't they? Now, we've got a lady in the box here today who knows everything about the Wallen footy ground. Those leaves at the southern end of the ground, they are moving, aren't they? Yeah, and the leaves at the other end are not moving. Well, I can't see. Look, I'm just looking straight out there. Don't point out where I can't see. Anyway, the meteorological assessment is we got no idea what's going on.
Well, it's certainly going to be by half-time. We'll see how well these two teams do with the adaptive change. Romsey now have that challenge of going upwind, if that's the direction we can kind of say it, an end which is difficult to actually get not only shots at goal accurately, but just get shots at goal, because the ground up there has been turned over. If anything, I'd be going over on that northern side that you can probably see just to the left if you're watching on TV, where the group is huddled there for the Macedon team. So just behind them, beyond that brown section there, that's solid, hard and fast ground. Look to see here if Romsey want to try and go down that path there, because that centre corridor, that's difficult football to play in. Here, we're seeing two tales of two different teams. Macedon going in for their traditional huddle, listening to the coach. Romsey utilising the 3-part approach where their centre, their defence and their offence first huddled together to talk about what's good, what's bad and what's not quite working in their area. Now they get settled into their huddle to listen to the coach. So these are traits and tactics we see from most teams now, where they have almost a coach per area of the ground to help give guidance and direction, David.
Well, I like to think of it this way, Matt. This is a contest where 44 young men are absolutely obsessed with doing their best. And I reckon the endeavour from both teams has been pretty outstanding and worthy of a final match at this point.
Indeed. The only minor negative I saw coming out of that was a control of temper and frustration there, where Macedon gave away a 50, which was disappointing because it was on the cusp of their 50-metre arc. It sent it back down the ground, and they'd worked so hard for about 2 or 3 minutes to get it up the ground. So I'm hoping that energy in the negativity can be switched to the positivity, David. And
You've got to accent the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch onto the affirmative, and don't mess with
Mr. In between.
I don't know who he is, but that's the point. But the 50-metre penalty, did I say during the call? Because if I didn't, I should have. The penalty's too big for some of these crimes. And I know I've said it through the year, and we've argued and fought about it.
I'm still of the belief that a player out there who makes that kind of mistake, that kind of emotional mistake, if it's not the 50-metre penalty that should be letting them down, it's their concern that they have to face the coach at quarter or half time, because coaches in those situations who see that, they are ropeable because they know all the hard work that was spent getting ready for it.
Do you think that player doesn't know about the hard work he's put in to get there to be chosen in the team? Oh, that's what I was going to say as well. Thursday night, picture the scene. You're sitting in the rooms wondering if your name's going to be called out to be in the 22. It's a significantly emotional experience, mate.
It is.
And when your name is chosen and you're amongst them and you're going to go out on the Saturday,
it's euphoric.
It's great feeling, mate. And these boys, they deserve all the credit for coming up here and turning on a game that's worthy of a final.
Indeed, both these two teams have had a campaign in this season which has been impressive. Like you said, David, Macedon's challenge is that they've beat every team below them but not yet beaten the team above them. So somehow here they've got to do something different that they've done all year. Right now, 16 points in the arrears, and it's going to be a challenge for them. Whereas Romsey, well, I'm sorry to say this, but I think they can sniff the opportunity here after that quarter.
They're playing better than Macedon at this point. How's your memory? Can you remember back as far as yesterday?
I can indeed.
Did I mention on radio yesterday about Irish Flame, a choice of Larry?
How did it go?
It ran third at huge odds, mate.
I put my house on it, so I should go collect, shouldn't I?
Well, you didn't own any of your house anyway at that point, did you?
Responsible gambling, folks.
Is that the Bendigo Bank? The Better Big Banks activity? Your house, the Bendigo Bank.
They're sound. They're a sound and resolved group. Folks, if you can't already see via the live feed there, both teams have made their way out of their huddles. They've made their way back into positions. Macedon heading down to the right side of the screen, or down the southern end of the ground. Romsey heading up towards the north, towards the cloggier, muddier end here too. The field umpire has the ball. He's just preparing himself as David.
And did you hear Matt say during the call in the first quarter, those people can see on the radio?
Yes.
Excellent work. There's the umpires coming in now. Good throw up too, and the Grucks set themselves. The Rucks contest isn't really doing anything significant at all in this game. They're missing the ball out for the time. Put his head down. That's a Selwood attempt, and I wouldn't be paying a free kick for that. The ball is now in a scrimmage, and the umpire's coming in to redo the throw up.
So this is a chance here, still inside the square. The rest of the players now come in, so it's going to get crowded. Up it goes, Rucks jump. Tap probably there in Macedon's favour, but down to no one particular. Ooh, almost a sling tackle in that one, and those tackles are ferocious. And we're seeing them, the Romsey boys get up after a good dose of tackle frenzy, and now the players set themselves. Dick, they're hiding there behind the actual umpire. Up goes it, tap back down towards him. Second tap there, but it's Romsey's got the numbers out the back now as they try and
run over it.
Creativity. Tackle over the top of the head there, let go by the umpire as it gets flicked out sideways, but no one can control it well. A quick kick-off through the air, and the numbers run towards it. Out comes Macedon, turning like circle.
Good work.
Better than the QE2. A centering kick, top of the square, one-on-one, 25 there, tall timber. Can't get hold of it as they dive on top, wrestle to the ground. And this is the start that Macedon would want. They've gone forward, locked the ball in. Now their defence moves right up to the 50-metre arc, and a chance now to steal a goal, David.
60-metre kick to get it up there, and that's a lot better than messing around with 12-metre kicks. Ball's gone out the back of the pack, and the defence are coming away with it for Romsey. That's good running, kicked into the centre of the ground, but there's a wall of players here for the Cats, and that's a nice mark on the chest, dead set in the centre of the ground. That was number 14, Hoyne, that did that and kicked mark it back.
Kick there, holding the man, and now Macedon have a shot at goal, David.
He did mark at the Romsey lad, but the other guys no doubt pushed him in the back, and the umpire said, I'm paying a free kick for that.
That's Cook.
And he's gone back 40 metres from where the man on the mark is. And as I say regularly, you'd need oxygen to kick it from there.
He might get a game in Lansford if he goes any further back.
Well, look how far he's gone, mate. It's 3 kicks. But he's only got a kick at about 32 metres, almost directly in front. Not much of an angle. He's coming, he looks like he knows how to kick, and I thought that was right. That's a beautiful looking kick, if you don't mind me saying. But it has not got the accuracy, and it's gone through for a single point.
So, Macedon doubles their score, going from 1 point to 2. So
that's right, and that's on the Mitre 10 scoreboard, if you don't mind me saying. Your wife's favourite collector of tools for her to work in the backyard, which you buy for all of the presents, don't you?
I break things, she fixes them. That's how it goes.
Yeah,
the ball's been recovered from, I think, Craigieburn.
And that's a Toyota leaving the ground. I wonder what the Toyota is doing going home at this early stage. Still a lot of footy to be played.
Netball may have been wound up there, David.
A lot of footy to be played yet. The fullback has got it now, waiting to bring it into play. He's gone around the outer side of the ground. He's run about 25 metres. They all do that now, don't they?
Yep.
He's kicked it to the half-back flank. A good contest, and no mark. Handball out the back of the pack. The Cats have got it into the forward pocket. A good contest, but no mark. And over the line and out of bounds, about 35 metres from goal, perhaps a bit more, 40 metres. And the boundary umpire's got it.
That was a good example there of both the defence and the offence. They're both clashing for the ball. Ball comes in from the boundary. It's a big throw there. Solitary ruck effort there by Macedon. Knocked back down. Ball flicks out. If they've got a chance to move it here, Macedon. Kicking up there. High is a chance, but there's only Romsey defence. They can't hold the mark. That's gone against them. Now the chance here for Macedon to lock it in again. That was a strange scenario as the kick went down to really no one in target.
Looked like a watermelon mark, that one.
Yep, and it floated like you wouldn't believe. So might put credence to that strategy of the win for you, David. Tap back down there. Again, Macedon all on their own. Diving on top to try and get the ball. Comes back out. Chance for a shot here. Over the shoulder. It's going to the top of the square. 1 on 4. Can't be held. A smack in the face, and it's been given.
Goodness.
There you go.
Goodness. Well, here's a miracle here, because the full forward, I guess he's the full forward.
That's Kernan.
Well, perhaps he's not the full forward anyway. The umpire is spreading people about, getting them out of the way. And as you certainly point out, Kernan has got the footy. He's only about 12 metres out of goal. And that's dead set through the centre, and a nice kick and a nice goal. And that's a free kick. And a big, courageous decision by the umpire.
It's amazing how a celebration really heals the poke in the eye there too. But Kernan, he played it. He played for the ball. He got the free for it. And now we've got a game on as Macedon pick up their first goal for the game on the Mitre 10 scoreboard here of 2-5-17. Romsey to 1-2-8 Macedon, and we're back down to single figures with a 9-point lead to Romsey.
An enthralling encounter now at the Green Hill Reserve in downtown Wallen. In a semi-final, it's worth our attendance.
Now, this is the part we always find interesting here. The previous ball up, it was Macedon that was taking time to chat with their ruck and their ruck rovers. Now Romsey's taking on a different strategy here. So watch the centre bounce here. Look for the Romsey ruck if he can get up. I think they're looking to either play off this high-jumping Macedon ruck.
Well, he's recognised as one of the best ruckmen in the competition, mate. A number 8 from Macedon has got a habit of trying to run into him.
Yep. There's that tap. There we go. That was fast, but it's unfortunately come off with the wrong hands. Macedon read a little bit better. They can't pick it up. It's messy. The kick doesn't go anywhere. There's a trip there, but it's let go. Bodies dive in on top, and it's hard to pick out a winner on this one. Again, they hit the ground, and they dive in on top of each other, and we have ourselves a Melbourne Storm scrum, if you can call that, as they
It's the first game I've seen this year where the players have been spread out along the ground, mate.
Actually got a fairly even spread at the moment, so it's fairly neutral. Up it goes in the middle again. Rucks push off. Probably a win there to Macedon. But but it's actually Romsey to try and get the ball. When it hits those muddy areas, it just sticks like clay.
On the shoulder.
Free kick picked out here, and it's going to go Macedon's way. And a 50-metre penalty with it too.
Well, that's absolutely...
Talk about a turn of the tables, David. This happened in the first quarter. And now Macedon, I'm going to try and make out that number, if we can make out who that is.
I'm going to tell you what, that's a good 50 metres too.
Oh, there's no question on that one. Wow.
Mills. Okay, it's one of the Mills boys. Remember, they were a famous group in the 1940s, and only a 50-metre penalty that turned out to be, I reckon, about 72 metres.
What would have been a kick to a contest? has now been a kick for certainty. Now the Romsey boys are back in the middle again, talking about what they want to do better.
There's a lesson learned there, mate. Don't open your mouth at all today, I'd say, because the umpires are going to ping you for it every time.
They're not having... look, they've already shown 2 50-metre penalties so far, and that one was devastating. Now, on the Motor 10 scoreboard, 2-5-17, 2-2-14. 3-point favour there for Romsey.
Well, it's a close go now, and good comeback because Macedon have been in the ascendancy in the last 5 or 6 minutes. So that's a very interesting move from Macedon's perspective, and I'd be getting a bit more confident now.
So with this point here, with only, that's 7 minutes, 15 gone, they are rescuing the ball from a long-distance location, folks. That's why there's a delay. Replacement ball is now coming out. This is a chance here where Macedon maybe had a feel that even though that was an opportunistic goal, they got it on its own right, fair enough, but here's a chance for them potentially to take the lead. 7 minutes ago, I didn't think that was going to happen. Now
no,
there's a chance.
I didn't think so either.
Yep.
And the 50-metre penalties are very useful, aren't they?
They are indeed. The umpire's got the ball back in the middle. She's checking around to make sure the field umpires can get to their corners in time.
That's a $200 ball that's gone down to the south end, by the way.
Someone's got a brand new Christmas present. They've got it back, though, here. Right, the centre field umpire was happy with all the boundaries in their corners. She comes in to bring the ball back up, and away we go, David.
There it is, the rucks go. Number 8 is doing all right, Dyer. He's trying hard to get in a contest with a bloke who's acknowledged as one of the best players in the competition. And they've got possession of the footy, the Cats, and that's a kick that's gone, like a bullet across the atmosphere. And it's gone into the centre half forward. Could be a bit high. The umpire said, yes, I'm agreeing with you, David. I'm giving this free kick, and it's about 42 metres from goal, directly in front, and a free kick to Macedon. They're doing well from the free kicks in the last 5 minutes or so, but they've still got to earn them and they've still got to kick them.
That's number 9 there, David, for Macedon. That's Cook again.
Cook. Okay, well, he's cooking something up here. And he's only about 40 metres from goal as I now observe it. And he's a nice kick of the footy. Let's see what he can do. There it goes. That's a brilliant looking kick. It's high in the air and it's gone through for 1 goal in my opinion.
Wow, we might call him the chef from now on, I think.
Well, he's a master cook, that's right. And your wife is a chef, by the way. Did you know that?
I did.
And the Motor 10 scoreboard, which is now changing colour and showing us all sorts of images. Beautiful scoreboard this. I love it, and it's right opposite the commentary box, which is even better. The scores being Macedon now in the ascendancy, 3 goals 2-20 to 2 goals 5-17 on the mighty Motor 10 scoreboard. Don't forget the reward system at Motor 10 is one of the outstanding features of the enterprise.
The Romsey runner has just streamed out to there to tell that centre group there for Romsey instructions to change in approach. Let's see how this goes here now as the ball goes up. The Macedon jump. No one could get that one. Everyone went too early. Free kick found, and it's a Macedon free kick. Even though, it looks like it was a bit of a late knock against the ruckman, and the ball's being given back to him now too. Looking a little bit groggy and worse for wear, Dyer. He's the one who gave away the 50 in the first quarter. He now has a chance to get them back.
He's fallen over. What's going on?
Just a little knock there, but it looks like he's going to go now. Boom it long, down inside the 50. They come running out. No one can get hold of it. Out the back there. There's lots of Romsey defence there to try and help out, but they've not got good control. It's seen as a throw, and now another shot. And this has turned the tables. Macedon putting pressure on Romsey, and they're making mistakes. Number 25 there, I think it is. That's Knox. He's going to line up now for a shot. Fort
Knox has got it only about 28 metres from goal, directly in front, Matt. And they've lost a bit of poise, the Romsey boys, haven't they?
They have indeed. Macedon's taking this on. Here's a chance to really take the kibosh to them, and it's kicking through.
It swung back at the last minute, the magical goal, and he's put it through, Matt.
The defensive skills of Fort Knox undeniably good in the forward line as well, as now Macedon takes a lead that's starting to ascend more than what Romsey had in the first quarter. Again, the Romsey centre, they get their act together, having a chat about how to do things differently. But right now, Macedon is winning the middle, and winning the middle, they're winning the ball down to the ground.
Who would have believed this at the quarter time? I wouldn't have. And you've got to give credit to the Macedon boys for getting in the spots to get the free kicks.
Indeed. The ruck's been changed there now.
Well, that is Hoy. He's the ruckman of note, but he's not getting anywhere near the footy today. There's something wrong with him, I reckon, honestly, because if he's got that reputation,
to Macedon again.
If he's got that reputation, Hoy, then you'd expect him to be doing better than this. That's a nice looking kick. It's out onto the half forward flank, but the man in the lead is Macedon, but he's overwhelmed by defenders from the Romsey boys. He's picked the ball up himself though, but wrestled over the line and out of bounds on the half forward flank about 50 metres from goal. And good bunch of spectators just watching the game and observing closely down there. Macedon now waiting to see if they can get another scoring opportunity. Half forward flank, 50 metres even. He got the hands to the footy that time, went down to the ground. Hoyne hooked it back into the centre half forward position. And the umpire said, I'm paying that mark, which he should because he marked it.
It was an excellent effort there. Hayne actually centred the ball there, 2-on-1, but really probably a 1-on-1. That second defender too far away. And now, number 25,
that's Fort Knox.
He's going to go for it again.
Well, he's doing something rather interesting, isn't he, the last few minutes?
The last shot drifted from left to right and just stayed in. Let's see if he keeps the same thing. There's a little bit of aggro going on off the ball here as well.
Well, the umpires are having a chat. Meanwhile, Knox has kicked it straight through the middle, right over the goal umpire's head. And you can't do better than that. And that's a big reaction from Macedon, and so it should be. They're doing extremely well at the moment, and my advice to Romsey is don't get sucked into the physical contests. Get the footy. That's the thing to do.
Now, a captain, a general of the team, maybe Blair, someone here from Romsey needs to try and settle the ship. They're having their regular chats in the middle, but they're not winning it out of it. With that Monitor 10 scoreboard, 5-2-32, Macedon to 2-5-17 Romsey. It's certainly not only winning it on the scoreboard, but winning it psychologically as well. So,
what do you observe, mate? Equal number of scoring shots.
Yeah, it's back on parity again, but the score definitely in Macedon's favour. Central umpire brings it back up. Up they jump, tap. Oh, quick win there by Macedon. Read the ball well, didn't jump too early. Now they get a chance to run on with it. That's again Hayne, I think, who did it out wider. It's a bit too wide for Moses. Shepherd will become in handy here. They're moving the ball well again with a centering chance here. 3-on-2, up early. No one can get that. Looks like the smaller men have read it better. It pops back out, but it's under contest. Again, a knocked back out there by Macedon. Trying to get it. They were held without it. The umpires let it go, and they're going to say a ball up right in front. So this again, extra pressure on Romsey. This is an onslaught here by Macedon, unexpected by most.
Look at the change, mate. Everybody's up that into the ground now.
Yep. Tap back down. No one can get that one. Goes out of the attacking 50, but back into it. And then a tackle then quickly hard down there. But the umpire says no one had chance to move on that one. So she's going to ball it up again. Look for those looser players there. Out there, number 4 there for, that's Doyle. He's waiting there patiently at the side there for a tap down. There's a knock. Can't get down to it. Does he pick it up that time? It went to him. He had a shot, but he's wayward and wide. Out of bounds on the full. You could see him prowling. He's got a certain poise to him, Doyle. And now there's a chance to get back out. But Macedon, David, will try and lock up this wall of defence.
Well, the Romsey boys are trying to defend themselves out of the game, aren't they? Just about everybody up that end of the ground. There it goes, up to the half-back flank, and that's a mark. A nice mark too. I commend him for that one. He's marked it right on the 50-metre arc. Half-back flank. They're in possession of the footy, Romsey. Romsey now coming up with that kick. It's gone along the centre wing, close to the boundary line, very close to the boundary line. And it's so close it's gone over the boundary line. And the boundary umpire will once again hurl it into the play.
David, this here is a chance for Romsey to get some control back. But the problem is, it's just seems the onslaught of pressure going down the Macedon direction. Oh, ruck was well done there by Macedon, number 36 there. Tap out along the ground there. Smart football to keep it moving in the direction they want for Romsey. But again, it's a lock up, and that's a union-like scrum that there was about more bodies in there than there were off. So it's a stacks on the mill, literally, as they drag everyone off.
Well, what's that? Is that 15 minutes gone, Matt?
It is. There's a couple of argy-bargies going on there too. There's a little bit of unsettledness. The ball goes up. No one goes for it, David. It's free real estate. It gets wrapped back up and they get locked back down. I'm not sure about these two ruck. They seem to be looking at each other more than they're looking at the ball.
Well, the ruck contests are not working out at all, are they? And I'm just amazed by it. Really, what the purpose is of doing it like this. Anyway, there it is.
Another free kick given for pulling a player down there, so that was ill-disciplined. Numbers favour Macedon, but the smaller men are quicker with it, trying for Romsey to get past. Now they have a chance to go forward. There is no one in the attacking 50 running on to great defensive mark there.
Lovely catch.
Great mark on the in the lines of defence there for Macedon. They'll come back out now down to that true centre wing area, David.
That was Bullis kicked the footy, took that mark, running with the ball and coming back over his head. Yep. So Bullis, a good piece of play, but the ball's out of bounds again. On the outer wing, waiting for a throw in. Can either side get a centre here? Right on the centre wing. No forward line play. Here it is. The racks. Oh, goodness, what a throw in. It's gone about 98 metres and it's gone towards centre half forward for Macedon. Picked up. Picked up again. Thrown out the front. 14, that's Hoyne. Hoyne has gone to the ground and they're wrestling and struggling for it, and no winners there. And the umpire says, I'm going to come in and throw it up.
A lot of players, David, looking for the free. The umpires are doing a great job there of not paying these callers. They're paying it towards the players who are actually going for the ball.
She's a pretty good umpire. I like her style. Yep. And that's a ruck win to Romsey there, but the ball's gone to the deck and nobody gets out with it, and they'll have to throw it up and start the game again.
Again, that tackle speed by the opposition. When you get the ball, you've got less than a second to move with it. Up it goes again, David.
Well, there it is, the ruck contest, and he's not getting the ball away, is he? If he is the best ruckman of the competition, you'd wonder what he's doing today. But
too high.
It's 32 points to 17. The Macedon Cats have got the footy again, and he's taking time to get up. He might need some attention.
That's Delaney, isn't it? Delahaye,
and you noticed there was one playing yesterday too. Did you notice that? I wonder if they're related. Yep. That's a terrible kick, really, because he's picked out the centre half back like he was the only man on the ground. Gone to the outer wing now. At the outer wing,
the goal.
It's all right. They're out there in numbers and picked up. The Romsey boys have got for the footy. The Sherman's gone to another one up the ground. They got loose players everywhere, and now a good contest up here. Sees them hit the ball to the ground. Comes out with it very nicely. That's number 6, I think. That was Hoy again. Now he's come with a hand pass, running man. Romsey still got possession of the footy, but mark taken brilliantly. I think that's by Barnett. Centre half back for the Macedon Cats. Run across the ground. Man standing on his own. They've transferred play to our side of the ground.
Kick back. Both teams are doing this. Inaccurate passing, only finding opposition. Now Romsey chance to double play this one. They're going to muck it up if they're not careful. They have there. Picked up by Wright. He handballs it off. Chance here by number 4, Doyle. Back inside the attacking 50. Out wide goes the full forward. Trying to get to it. Overruns it. And then gets met by a Romsey player who can't get control. Staying on your feet's the key here, folks. On the ground, you can't do anything with it. And we have a ball up there inside the attacking 50, David. That was a quick turnover by Macedon, but Romsey have, for the better part of the last 10 minutes, slowed the goal scoring. I
wonder if they're being tricked by the weight of the footy with a bit of mud on it, mate. The distances aren't doing it well, are they?
Yep.
So the ball's gone to the front of the pack. We ordinary throwing that time, and down on the deck, gone towards the boundary line and over the line again in front of that structure on the in the forward pocket at the Green Hill Reserve.
Netball change rooms here for the Wallen Netball Football and Football Netball Clubs. In comes the boundary umpire. He brings it back into play. Ruck all on his own there. Finds Doyle, quickly kicks out, up to the top of the square, looking out the back, but it's all Romsey.
3-1.
3-1. They kick out wide with a chance to move forward quickly. It's dangerous.
Whoa,
and there's a necktie just to help the situation. That's number 37.
Push him in the kisser as well.
Yep, and that's a hard. Now, it's probably a strategic win there, because by the time it's taken to get back up, almost every man's been covered. So now they'll come out and kick down to a contest, David.
Yeah, well, they're not kicking the ball as well as they expect to, I reckon. It's tricking them a bit. That's a free kick to Romsey. Coming out with a footy, kicked it into the centre half forward. That's a mark, I reckon, on the ground. Low down near his ankles.
Pietro.
Kicked it up into the forward pocket. That's number 10. He's got it, but he couldn't mark it. The ball gone to the ground.
In the back.
Oh, very lucky.
Pietro brilliantly played.
Very lucky, Di Pietro. I thought that was just play on that time.
He's played
That's
on
a
quickly.
hand pass to a man running past. I can't see it, Matt.
At the back there, no one can hold it. It's hit the ground at the front. Everyone stops. It's flicked back out. There's a quick chance here. Kick over the top. Finds a player. It hits the mud. Sticks like glue. Everyone dives in on top, and we've got major washing to do tonight, folks, because everyone's going to come up looking like they're all chocolate cake. Here we go.
Ella Fitzgerald, did you say?
Indeed. Now the umpire fishes the ball out. He's tempted to wipe it off there as it's half It's half chocolate cake. Up it goes now. No one there ready to get it. Tap back down. Again, wrapped up. They're sitting on it. Bodies are holding people. The umpire says play on.
Get on with it.
No one can get it out.
Wrestle some more, he says, in the mud. Get into the mud, folks.
Now, if umpires know anything that they habit that they go by, after 2 ball ups, they'll look for the easiest free kick they find. You've got to be clean with your use of the ball and your use of tackles. Up it goes. Rucks. No one. Hits the ground. Sits like a pig. Bang. No one can get it out there. It's flicking around. And she's going to do it again. Now, this is where you look for those simple frees. You don't want to give anything away because they'll call anything they think is slightly
I find that to be insulting as an ex-umpire, but nevertheless, we're not going to fight about it, Matt.
Just let it go again.
Ball's gone to the ground, another scuffle. And you walked across the ground there. It is pretty muddy there, isn't it, Matt?
It is indeed. It is indeed. It's lucky he's finding footwork where he is to keep himself up and standing upright. Up it goes, tap. He can't get his body around it there. The Macedon player there does a short kick, but that's not far enough. And again, it gets wrapped up and it'll be a ball up. That's 5 now in front. And you watch the body work of Romsey here. He shepherds out the opposition ruck, and then now the ball flicks out the back. Chance to get it out. Romsey come through with a shepherd on Mass. It get out the back there. It gets flicked, but no one can dive in on top. Quick kick out there by Macedon. They can't control it, Romsey. There's a foot race going on here. It's everyone after it. Those who stay on their feet will do better. Push in the back over the shoulder. Good defensive play by Romsey. Had their head over the ball. They'll kick wide to the dry side. Now watch the ball move with a little bit more speed here, David.
So ball's on the outer side of the ground near the scoreboard. Centre wing almost. They're going a bit towards the Romsey goal, but ball's over the line again. It's out of bounds quite a bit today on that side of the ground, and the spectators getting a good view of the players as they wrestle for possession. So the boundary umpire's getting set now, chucks it in. A big high throw. The rucks set themselves. Man at the back, Dyer. He's doing all right in the ruck now, Dyer, isn't he?
And he's roving it too.
He's got the footy again, kicked it, but possession of the footy is Romsey. Gone to the deck, picked up beautifully. That's a lovely pick up by Macedon. Kicked in towards the half-forward line, hit the man on the chest. Couldn't mark it. Defenders in the van now, pushed out the front again. Could have been a free kick, who knows? He didn't get it though, and the umpire's coming in now to say it's my ball, folks.
23 and a half minutes gone. There was a couple of delays there by getting the ball back during one or two of those kicks.
Delays, not Delahaye.
2 or so minutes left to go there. Free kick found there. It's going to go Macedon's way. This is a bit of a repeat, folks. We're seeing a lot of the free kicks Macedon get are around the 50-metre arc. So they'll go back for a shot here. Just trying to make out who that is there. Is that Fort Knox again? It is Fort Knox. He's lining up now, probably kicking from 55 metres. I would say a challenging distance, to say the least.
It's a pretty tough kick, and as we pointed out, the footy's got a bit of murk on it. So can he get underneath it sufficiently to get the distance? Here he is. It's a nice kick of the footy, this guy, by the way, and that's a nice long kick, and it's right on the line. It's right on the line.
And he raises his hands, and they come to him from every direction, because that was stratosphere, David. That cleared the horizon. Well done.
Well, it cleared them by about a millimetre because that was right on the line, and he just got the distance right.
That was perfectly done by Knox. He's a multi-goal scorer. I think he potentially is up to his 3rd. That pushes Macedon out to 6 goals 2, 38 to 2 goals 5, 17. Getting themselves a 21-point lead against Romsey, and that is the biggest lead of the game so far.
That is a very handy lead, if you don't mind me saying so, in these darkening conditions. And Macedon need to be complimented for this quarter of footy. Big throw up. Macedon ruckman got it to the ground again. They're not doing well in these clearances, the Romsey lads, and that's a good tackle. Ball goes to the ground, and a bit of scuffling. Let him go. That's my advice. Don't go on with that dragging and pushing. It doesn't do anybody any good. And that's number 36, Delahaye, that had the footy. Ball's on the ground again. He went in hard. That could have been taking his legs out, but they don't pay him much in this sort of football. And that's that's Macedon got the footy out, but Romsey have got possession of the footy out in front. Number 1 took a good effort, Blair, and kicked down towards the forward line. Matt, I can't see it.
This is the part of the actual commentary we can't see a lot of, because over the view there is the balcony as the umpires look to try and find a free kick in there too. Looks like we've gone to the boundary, and we're going to have a ball in now as the ruckmen start to prepare themselves. The good sign here that we've learnt from years of covering games in this area. The boundary umpire, they've sent players back at Macedon, further back to cover the goal line.
I'm recommending in future games, Dano, you crawl out on that roof.
I will crawl out on that roof. Quick attempt here, body duck down. and everyone is beaten by the siren. And in that quarter, Romsey was beaten by Macedon. And instead of parity, we have Macedon after that second quarter going in with a 21-point lead in a game, David, that I am happily surprised to see is extraordinarily competitive.
Well, you would have given Romsey the benefit of the doubt, although the tipsters, you know, were pretty even.
Yep.
Before the game started, so somebody knew something. These umpires have done okay. They're not that keen on the 50-metre penalties, but they've done okay, I reckon. They've
probably been needed. There was a bit of attitude back towards the umpires. There was a bit of attitude between the two teams. But at this point in time, we're seeing a Macedon team that has re-rallied after being in the deficit, using that goal-scoring end to the south, and they would happily be going inside, not only happy about the fact that they're this far in front, but also with the potential that in the last quarter they get that benefit again of going down to that southern end.
Well, I'd rather be in front at this stage than behind. That's a fact. I'm intrigued by the ruck play. Several times, neither of the ruckmen have touched the footy after a throw up or Bevandy throw in.
There's number 8 there for Macedon, who's got a leap on him there too. I think it's Dyer.
Well, he's been free kicked twice for shepherding.
Yeah, he has.
And you've got to give him credit for bouncing back, and he's getting possession of the footy, mate.
What he lacks probably in technique, he makes up in athleticism, because he's got a really, enormous jump on him too.
And if the Romsey lad is the one of the best ruckmen in the competition, as acknowledged in the record by Macedon, then I'd say he needs a bit of work because he hasn't done that much today.
Additionally, there's a sense of confidence in Macedon's forward line, especially in that quarter there. The players knew that if they were to bomb it long, lob it down to be in front of that actual goal square, players like Knox has got the confidence to come out there and grab the ball, and he's marking them too. And this is in conditions where we're having trouble seeing those kind of marks. So at this point in time, Macedon, obviously on the scoreline, they're winning, but their tactic also is winning quite well. So
well, he's a very good kicker of the footy, Knox, by the way, and knows how to do it right. So it's an interesting clash and worthy of a final, in my opinion, because the contests have been pretty rugged, haven't they?
Have indeed.
But Romsey lost a bit of poise towards the end of that quarter.
Yeah, the emphasis here from the coach is that by three-quarter time, Romsey's going to want to be in front to make that difference in that goal-scoring direction, David. Real challenge for them in this third quarter.
Well, an update on the meteorological situation, and the leaves at the southern end of the ground are barely moving now, Jane.
We think actually, David, that there's nothing much happening at all. Now, for some reason, my Jane bun is absolutely atrocious.
Oh, we've had a lot of...
At this point in time, it really has. The weather has died down. It's got a little bit less windy. And there's a great indication here that we're looking at probably a neutralised weather situation for everybody. So
I just had a number of texts coming in saying that some people don't believe that is Jane Bunn giving that meteorological report. But you can't trust the listening audience when you're involved. They know what a demon artist you are.
Well, look, we're going to take a halftime break here, get ourselves a Bonox or a tea or a cup of coffee, David.
Bovril, you said yesterday.
Bovril, that's right.
Or what is the other one, Bonox?
Yeah, Bonox. We have one of those too.
Or in the old days, a Bex and a lay down.
Yeah, Bex and a lay down.
So what we say is take about a 10-minute break and see if you can recover from Matt's melodious tones. And we'll be back in approximately 10 to 11 minutes to resume this devastatingly interesting forecast, or what do you call it, broadcast of this finals game between Macedon and Romsey from downtown Wallen at the Green Hill Reserve.
Welcome.
You're right.
Yep, welcome back here to Wallen. Here we are covering the game between Romsey and Macedon. If you're just tuning in for the first time today, folks, it's half-time, and it's been an absolute seesaw of events. The first quarter was dominated and owned by Romsey with probably an 18 or 16-point lead there at one stage there. Then the second quarter came into effect, and Macedon came out and blitzed. They stormed their way back into contention. Not only drew to parity, but then pushed away to a 21-point lead, the biggest lead so far of the game. Now, as we're about to kick off the process of the second half here, it's actually Romsey who've come out early to get themselves reacclimatised. Macedon still in the rooms there, getting a chat with their appropriate coaching teams. But David, who's here with me, David Doherty, what's the message in the Macedon rooms at the moment? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Only better. Kick more goals. Yes, they're doing all right, Macedon. They'd be pretty happy with their form up to date. Let me remind the people at home that we're broadcasting on 98.3 in Kilmore, 97.1 in Wallen, and 89.2 around the ground here. And you can also, as a result of our partnership with Red Onion and the RDNFL, you can catch us in video and commentary on RDNFL Facebook today.
Indeed, well said there, David. The umpires have made their way back out, and you probably see them there on the coverage. As we have indicated beforehand, and if those who are just joining us for the first time, that further side of the ground, that eastern side of the ground here is a drier part. In fact, it allows for quite quick running. The side that's closer to us, closer to the TV coverage aspect here on the western side, you might be able to make it out there, it is muddy. And out of all the goals being scored so far, I think every single one of them has been scored to that southern end. That's the score down to the right-hand side of the screen, down towards what we call the Craigieburn end. The other end, well, it's not happy hunting ground, David. And in this quarter, Macedon has a challenge of heading north up to that part of the ground to try and get themselves an elusive northern end goal.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm going to do something unusual today, Matt. I think it's appropriate, being a final, for us to get an understanding of what other people think about the game. So the worthy timekeeper from Macedon, what's your assessment of the game up to this point? Who do you think is going to win now? Unbiased, of course.
I know Macedon's got the break, but Romsey got the win this quarter.
Yeah.
Macedon could be within a bull's roar.
Mm-hmm.
For a good time, be pretty confident.
So you're confident at this point?
Yeah, this time.
And what about the Empress of Wallen? What does she think about the game?
I think that Macedon's playing really good for you. Romsey sort of dropped off since the first quarter. Very interesting second half.
Okay, did you hear that? She's selected Wallen to win today. And what about our video forecast? Have you seen any of the game at all besides looking through the lens there? Yeah, what are you thinking yourself?
I reckon Romsey will come back with a few goals.
Romsey. Righto, Matt, get your money together from Larry's winning bet yesterday on Irish Flame and get it on Romsey, he said.
Right, I'll lose the other half of the house. That's
and who are you
fantastic.
choosing?
Look, it's a curly one. They've both got the skills. Romsey have got great skills. But if Romsey aren't in front by three-quarter time, I think that's going to be a really strong indication.
So this sounds like a cop-out to me. You're not choosing anybody. You're saying if this or right that.
I say Romsey will come back, but I think in that last quarter, Macedon will come back and probably come home the victor.
You're backing the Cats, the Macedon Cats.
Backing the Cats, yes.
Okay, then, that's it.
And David, sorry, before you ask everyone else's their opinion, you're going to put some skin in the game here?
Unfortunately, being the oldest broadcaster in OKR, I'm not permitted to take biased situations, but I'm choosing Macedon to win at this point.
Yeah, that second quarter was a fairly dominant affair. This will be a question on whether those words, those dulcet words from both coaches sink into the craniums of these players and they listen to what's been told and they execute it to what's been asked.
Well, here's where you and I got a slight difference about the way the game runs, you know, because I'd say it's what's in their craniums already that's important.
This is true.
Because what you pointed out during that first half is really important. The attitude of the players in circumstances where the pressure goes on, it's where they need to think for themselves, don't they?
They do.
And I've seen that a million times in football, you know, where somebody just loses on the spur of the moment and bingo, the game's gone.
And to say that too, that goal onslaught that was produced by Macedon in that second quarter, it went for about 8 or 9 minutes. Then there was a following 10 minutes where Romsey changed the tone. and stopped the onslaught. They didn't get a goal, but they stopped it. Now, that's credit to them. That's why I think there's still a good fight here in this Romsey team.
I wouldn't underestimate the value of the free kicks Macedon got. Not just the goal kicking free kicks, but they did get a few free kicks that came at opportune times for them.
And the opportune locations, and 50 metres that also gave them the opportunity for goals. But, you know, that's what changes the games. That's what makes it happen.
Oh, absolutely. I'd say really bad luck. And as I've said a million times when I was umpiring, have a read of the paper tomorrow. You'll see what really happened. Because there's no good arguing about it. So there we are, Matt, back at JJ. No, it's not the JJ. It's the Green Hill Reserve.
Green Hill Reserve.
How dare you? Yes. How dare you say that? And we're all set, Matt, for the commencement of the third stanza in this equally interesting finals match.
Up it goes there. The rucks jump. Probably there a whim to Romsey, but down to no one in particular. Off the ground. Second efforts by the Macedon ruck is good. And as they run out to it, a couple of high tackles let go. Kicking off the ground. And now an opportunistic mark there by number 22
Peavy.
there. In Peavy, who's now looking to get it back down the other end of the ground. He kicks long, not exactly direct. And again, this is a trait we've seen in the first half. Kicking straight to opposition tall men. And now a chance of Macedon to come back. Contest here between both players. No one can hold that. Go to ground. Kick off the ground in that muddy condition.
Yeah, it is muddy there.
Roll over the top. The umpires let it go. Wrapped up. And we'll have a ball up here, folks. And if you'll notice now, this is where it starts to get really messy because that ground there is uneven and unreliable.
No quarry for Wallen, but that looks a bit like it out there at the moment, doesn't it?
Got one going at the moment. Up it goes there from the umpire. They jump. Dyer there can't get to it. Kick and a smother there. Attempt out the back there by Macedon.
Went to the ground.
Onto the ground, but no one can control it. They keep knocking it forward off the ground. Romsey doing a good
shepherd, sir,
by Blair. Kicks it forward 2-on-1. No one can hold it off the ground. That's in danger, and yep, they've called it. So that's the danger of that kick off the ground. If you don't get down to it quickly enough, and that's, by the way, that's Knox in the back line, so he's changed position there. A short, sharp kick, push in the back, let go. The Romsey players doing a good job of spoiling each other. And now number 14 there, that's Hayne. Trying to get a ball out now. He does now get it out wide there. Here's a chance of Macedon. It's a torpedo and it's uglier than a redhead stepchild. That's gone wide, hits the ground. No one can control that. And they ball on top there for a ball up, David.
Well, it's very interesting. And what a terrific shepherd by Blair to let that man through with the footy to kick it up into their forward line. Ball's now on the centre wing or nearly in the centre of the ground, perhaps near the centre circle. Umpires throwing it high in the air. The rucks fly, and they're more concerned with jumping than actually getting the footy. And down it goes towards the half-forward flank kick towards number 15. That Story for Romsey got the ball away in the end, but a bit slow doing it. And the umpire's gone in and said advantage play on. The Cats have kicked it towards the boundary line, and it's gone over the line and out of bounds near the point post at the northern end of the ground.
Trying to pick up on one of the Romsey fellows who came down pretty hard there, David. He is looking groggy. Yep, and he's finally made his way to his feet. I'll try to make out who that is there. Yeah, it's Neil's there possibly. He's now jogging his way back in, so credit to his cerebral capabilities. It's great. Knock back down here. Down to Macedon. Kick over the shoulder. It's centred. It's drifting. Oh, great tap there by number 4 from Romsey. That's Lever. He knocks it out now. It goes underneath the cavalry area, so we can't see quite well. The umpire raised his hands to continue. It gets knocked towards the boundary line. Out it comes. Tackle gets brought back down. Extra efforts there by Pitzel, and then it gets wrapped into a huddle here where the umpire will ball it up. That was intensive play there by Purcell to try and get the ball out of that defensive 50. Macedon with a rare chance up this end to get themselves a score, something hard to do today. Up it goes. Ruckman jumps. Dyer probably read it but didn't get it. Out the back there. Now numbers in favour. That's Dick down on the ground low and gets tackled on top.
I wonder if he's related to the league footballer, the AFL footballer, Dick.
Possibly.
It's on the Carlton list, I think, now.
A few pushes there with the boys trying to demonstrate themselves.
It's him.
Yep.
Well, there you are, folks. Did you hear that? That's an exclusive piece of information. Dick is, in fact, the bloke who was on the Carlton list.
Yep.
That's excellent work. So, ball's come out now. It's a bit of a scrimmage, doubtful play. 14 Selwood. No, that's the Geelong Selwood. Jingaz. Hoyne, that was, going through hard. And the ball's on the ground again in the quarry, just in front of the commentary box. Inside
that attacking 50 here, Macedon trying to lock it in and nullify this important time that Romsey have with that scoring end. So this is when going in their favour. Up it goes. big jump. No one really wins that one. Coming through now, bending over a lot of the players there, lifting their heads and probably calling for a free if they can, but no one can get it.
He's a good goer, that Romsey guy, but he just can't quite break free at the moment.
Kurtzel, he's trying. He gets in hard and gets down low, but he's unfortunately didn't get away with a clean possession, which is hard to get today.
He's got a lot of courage, that boy.
Yep.
There it is, ruck throw up, and again, really no winner, but the Hoy, I think that was, got the hand pass away. They got possession of the foot and he's taken it to the ground. That's holding the ball, I think.
Correct disposal. That was a good call there. Number 3 there in Morris. Took a little bit too long. Thought he had more time than he did. 26 here for, that's Peterson now. He's going to look down the ground. It's not got a lot to go for. The umpire says play on. The kick.
Over the mark.
It's high. It's down the ground, I think. There's a whistle blown.
No, it's out.
No, it's been brought back here. It's been brought back. There's a bit of conjecture where that's coming off the ball knock here.
Well,
afterwards, so it's coming back down the ground.
This is not good when This is not good when there's confusion about what the hell's going on.
So after the kick there was a push off the ground there too. So this is a free kick happening down here. Now this actually gives Macedon that rare chance to have a shot at goal.
40 metres.
At the non-scoring end, David.
That's 40 metres, and that's Barnett, I think, that's got the footy. What's he going to do? He's kicked it from the 50-metre mark. It's gone towards the goal, but won't go far enough. The defender pushed it out in front of him. The umpire says, I'm paying a free kick for that.
Holding the man there too. I think, although he didn't control it, he's going wide across the goal. David, your favourite activity.
I love it, don't you? Especially when it goes wrong. But that didn't go wrong that time. The guy's got the mark in the back pocket, and he only about 30 metres from goal. Left footer, that's 50 metres. He's kicked it up towards the centre wing. Ball's gone over the front of the pack. Nobody's got it. Pushed to the ground. They jump on it, and that's a free kick on the shoulder, says the umpire. That's better than balling it up.
So that's on the far side. Their chance now for Romsey to relieve some of the pressure. It's a short pass, dangerous, touched off the actual landing point there. Now here's a chance of Macedon if they can control it. If they can't, Romsey turning the pressure levels up.
Oh, goodness.
Out the back now, play on, says the umpire. Off the ground again, another opportunity. Macedon getting down low, tackled there and brought down hard. There's going to be some weary bodies, David, at the end of this quarter, I'd say the least, is the tackling.
About 9 o'clock Saturdays when you feel it. I've noticed that's Saturday night with a cramp in the back of the leg or somewhere. And you're right, the physical contest really, isn't it, with a hard ground, soft ground rather. There it is, kick towards half forward, and there's a mark right on the chest, fortuitous.
That Story.
Yeah.
He's a not a known renowned full or forward kicker to my knowledge. He's going to be kicking from 55 metres there, David. That's a long distance. I'll be looking for the big men back on the line for a potential mark or anyone to give a lead, but no one is giving a lead.
He's a courageous player, and it looks like he might be a left footer, is it?
He's aiming to that side.
No, he's right footer. There he goes, and that's a nice looking kick. It's not far enough though, and it's gone over the back of the pack. Pushed over by the defenders for another point on the what scoreboard is that again?
Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
The Better Big Bank, Better Big Bank, and they've just waiting for the score to go up, but that was only a point.
So 6-2, 30. Is that 36? 38 there on the Macedon score. The 2-6-18 for Romsey.
7-minute mark of the third quarter, and it's kicked towards the boundary line, centre wing, nearly a mark. And the umpire said, what? The umpire saying what?
Free kick to Macedon.
36. Well, I didn't see that one. Did you? Raymond has got it.
Oh, no, it's a Romsey, sorry.
There it is. Gone towards the centre forward position. A high floating footy.
There's something called here.
Oh, goodness. I don't know.
That's Story again now. He'll get a second chance at doing this. A little bit closer this time. I think that's a Shepherd to then push out. So some of the tactics taken on here by Macedon to reduce or take players out of the equation, it's kind of backfiring at the moment, David.
Well, I'm starting to get annoyed by some of these free kicks. If I can't see them as blatant, I wouldn't be paying them. Oh, there's a good kick. It's gone sideways up the Jenkingola. You would remember Jenkingola, I suppose. They used to be a footy boot, Matt.
There you go.
And it's kicked out of bounce on the full, and Macedon will take possession of the footy in the back pocket, only about 12 metres from the point post. Comes onto half-back flank. The pack rises, about 20 players amongst that group.
Story
and
again.
They play on, says the umpire, and no break free, and it's going to be another ball up, only a few metres in from the boundary line, right on the 50-metre mark at the southern end of the ground.
He's not been accurate with his kicks, but Story's his third possession in under a minute. So he's had an impact there. He's now rucking out the back, tapping it out wide, looking for a player to run onto it. But here's Macedon the chance to get down to it, move the ball quickly, and they do. The kicks, though, they're rushed into a pack of 3 onto 4, and out
That's
comes
Cook.
now. Here's a chance for a Shepherd coming out wide. Is that
Up the ground again.
Down the ground. This is this ill-disciplined approach by both teams, which is giving free kicks down the ground. Handball quickly goes off there, running on quickly to it. Kick towards the goal line. It's inaccurate, but it's curling around. My goodness, that had a remote control on it. Someone in the audience has got a drone, because that one turned a sharp right and almost rolled through.
He covers a bit of ground, Cook. He's up and down the ground, isn't he? I'm surprised by that. I don't remember seeing him previously.
We call him the Master Chef. 2-6,
That's
18, Romsey to 6-3, 39 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Chance here now for the back pocket to bring the ball out again. A short pass there, finds a target. 2 kicks, got them about 30 metres in total. 3 kicks there, finds number 22 there in Peavy. He looks down the ground now to find an option. More people covered now. Oh, he's going across.
Goodness.
Oh, we love this. It's the 8th deadly sin. It's backward and across. Wide it goes, but it's worked out. Looking down the fat side of the ground where there's plenty of
Adamson.
space. Can't find it. Hits the ground hard. Sliding into the bodies. Off the ground, Romsey of force, but that turns the ball over. Kicking back down for wide, finding a solo player up there on his own. That's number 37,
Wilton.
Collins. And that was it. Yep. And then kicking centre of the ground there, finding number 12, Bags. Kicking wide again, looking for number 30, and has it there in Straw. And now he's taken the mark. He's directly in front, probably about 30 to 35 metres. This is going to be tricky, though, because that ground, wow, that's a quagmire, David.
I'd like that bit of play, though. That's the best bit of play on Macedon for the day. 3 disposals, 3 effective disposals, that is, and 3 marks, and now put them in a scoring position, only about 30 metres from goal. But as you say, kicking out of a mud heap, and that's a nice-looking kick, is it not?
No, that's why he's drifted to the left. He's dragged it across himself. His opposition reminds him of it, and now has a chance for Romsey to come back out of defence. Macedon, though, will look David to lock it inside.
Well, the scoreboard is 2 goals 6 to 6 goals 4.
50-metre penalty now there, David, being brought forward. Indisciplined behaviour by both teams.
Well, the umpire's having a discussion too, trying to work out what's happening between them. It's
coming forward. See, either the 50-metre was incorrectly given, or by my math, yeah, that's right. That's where the 50 should be if he's kicking out from there. He goes wide to that open wing, David, on the far side.
That's a mark. Romsey got possession of the footy, number 11. That's Adamson's kicked it out towards the boundary line. Another mark. They got possession of the footy, centre wing coming inboard now. And that's a Miner's kick, went to the ground. And a big scuffle on the almost on the 50-metre mark at the southern end of the ground. And Romsey can't get possession, and neither can the Cats. And
David,
we're waiting for a throw-up.
There's that difference there too. There's a chance of Romsey to go inside, and their kicks were inaccurate.
That was a poor kick. It was the Miner's kick, as I call them. Went towards the ground rather than in the air. So that's a good ruck contest. Got it away that time, and that's a big belt, but picked up nicely. Romsey got the footy. It's gone out onto the left foot. That's number 7. Jedwab. He's kicked it down into the forward pocket. 2-on-1 down there, but over the line and out of bounds.
So probably not the kind of start that Romsey wanted with this scoring end. The difference still 22 points in favour of Macedon on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. The ball deep within inside the attacking zone here for Romsey. A chance inside their 50. It comes spinning back in. Story goes towards it. So does Dyer. Neither of them can get it. Tap back off the ground there. Pushing it towards the boundary. A stoppage. No. Continue to keep it in the ground. Was a great effort there. Finding number 37 there for Macedon. That's Collins, who's been popping up and doing a good job in this quarter. And now they move the ball back down the ground to almost a neutral centre wing, David.
Well, what's the situation? 12-minute mark, 18, that's 22 points the difference. That's a handy lead to the Cats. Ball's on the ground, a bit of a scuffle, fighting for it, wrestling through it out the back, and Romsey got the footy. Not a mark, couldn't mark it, then out in front, and the defenders have got the ball kicked in towards the half-back flank. There's 3-on-1 there, the red jumper circling. Nobody can get it away.
I think no, she's called it back in there too. Some of the tackles are getting a little bit, maybe they're getting tired, they're a little less disciplined in it. The umpire will bring the ball back up, ruckman, jump. In the way, Dyer was impeded, but over they go trying to get it. A hold in the man's being found, and the free kick There's the umpires to turn. There's going to go to Romsey, I believe. There's a chance now to go for them to go deep inside their attacking 50 with this one. I'm just trying to work out who the player is who's going to get it there, David.
She pointed the wrong way, by the way.
His hands on his hips there. That might be... that could be Lever there. Hard to see with his jumper.
I don't know.
Deep kick inside the attacking 50, right at the back, off the fingers and out of bounds, and will be thrown in 5 or 10 metres around from the Romsey goal.
I think that was a Captain Blair, was it, that kicked it?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's gone down into the forward pocket at the circus end of the ground. There's a tent in the background there. Did you see that, Matt?
Look at that movement on the tent, David. It's blowing horrendously, so I think there's going to be a challenge here.
What is going on in that tent? You got any idea?
Not a lot of anything that's been blown away.
Looks like Worth Circus, doesn't it? You wouldn't remember Worth Circus, of course.
No, I don't.
But the boundary umpire is waiting for the footy to come back, and that's good throw by the man in a denim suit over there. Full marks. I might put him in my best players for the day. The boundary umpire's got it. Chucked it in from the boundary. Oh, that's a terrible throw. That's disgusting. That's touch play on, and no score. 1 point only. But the reality is there that that was a terrible boundary throw in and hit the Romsey lad on the chest, and that's unfair. But nevertheless, the Macedon lad's got a full back. He's coming in now towards the commentary side of the ground. That's the western side of the ground. Ball goes to the deck. Hand pass out the back. That's good play. That is good play, in fact. And that's number 7. He's a ghost player, mate, is he? Picked up, I'd reckon, here. Oh, look at the mud and the slush there. Can you see it on the ground when he picked it up? It was like a...
It was like glue. It was stuck there. There were 3 Macedon players
there's one of the kids
ground. That's Peavy. He's upset with himself, I think, or everyone else. There's a chance now in this mud. The ball now here for Macedon. Up it goes. Throws slightly in direction of Romsey. Now they get the ball out wide. Going deep there.
1 on 2 there.
Macedon, bang. They've got the men and the numbers. That's number 37 in Collins again. He kicks a short over top pass. Bang, finds 30 out wide, or in the middle there. That's Straw. He's got a potential goal-kicking approach, but it's going to be too far for him. But he's going to go back, I think, use a bit of time up.
I think he's looking for somebody, mate.
Yep, now he's gone wide. It's a low pass. Oh, he's
got
him.
He's got it.
Out the back, 24
That's the goal
there.
kicker. That's Kernan.
Wow. So
I thought he was looking for that layoff there, and he did it pretty well, didn't he?
Romsey looked a little bit asleep there in that motion. I don't know why, but the kick was almost going to go over everyone's head, and then it just slowed up and dropped into his hands.
He had no intention of kicking it at the goal, mate.
No, now the shot at goal here. This is a tough angle.
Kernan, he's a good kick.
Goes through, follows. It's gone to the right, and it's going to be a minor. No, it's a minor score. So again, Macedon getting shots 6-5-41 to Romsey 2-6-18 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard there. That's a 24-point lead.
17-minute mark almost. So the quarter is proceeding, and the ball's kicked into the fullback. That's a nice kick. Got a man on the chest, your teammate, and that's Walsh. Welsh, my wife's maiden name, by the way, in case you're interested.
Oh, that's a good mark.
He's a solid performer, this guy. He's got absolutely no
fear.
no fear at all. He's good. I like him. And the ball's gone over the back of the pack. The defender's in the van. That's Knox. It went to the ground. Gathered the footy in, pushed it out. Did he throw it? I don't know. He's gone again. Romsey got it up, threw it out again. They're throwing it everywhere. Had a kick, couldn't get it away. Ball's on the ground. Threw himself down looking for the free kick. The umpire says, I'm not doing that. And it's a ball up on the half-forward flank about 52 metres from goal on the eastern side of the ground.
David, that's 17 minutes gone here, and neither player...
Western side of the ground, did you say?
Neither team is holding back here. Up it goes there with a contest. Big punch there by Macedon. Can't find anyone in particular. Out it wide with a quick handball outside of the boot to try and keep it in. Peavy tries to, but he escorts it across the line over the boundary, and a throw-in pretty much in between the two interchange benches.
Well, the ball is on centre wing, and they're waiting for a throw-in by the boundary umpire. They're getting plenty of work out the day, and that's a big throw-in out the back of the pack it went. That was Delahaye got the ball away. Blair in the middle of the ground couldn't get possession of the footy. The Cats have brought it out now, hit him on the leg. That was a mistake. 36 has got it, kicked it up the ground. That was Raymond. And where is the footy now? Play on, says the umpire. Kicked it out onto the centre wing, and the Cats have got it towards the boundary line, and it's over the line and out of bounds once again. Half-back flank, 52 metres from goal, southern end of the ground.
Inaccuracy in kicking here. The team which got less inaccuracy is probably going to control this quarter. quarter to the better degree. 18 minutes gone, and Romsey haven't got a goal yet in this goal-scoring end. This is a big win so far for this quarter by Macedon as it comes back in. There it is by the ruckman, gets it out of the ruck, kicks it off quickly. Now running by are their faster players out to that wide side. They've got players out there on their own now. Here they go, running down the ground, looking down the corridor, looking for number 9 out wide there for Macedon. That's Cook. He can't get it. Hits the ground. Macedon, great defence coming out, but the kick leaves more to the imagination. Extra effort
did
there.
well. Did
great
well.
efforts there by Macedon over the top, out wide, looking for a short pass and a mark there, but can't be held. It holds
look
in
at
the
the
mud. Sticks deep. Tackled without the
Free
ball.
kick,
And
hasn't
the
got the
free
footy.
kick's been given. The ball dribbles through and a play-on's been given, and Macedon get a well-deserved goal in what was theatric to say the least. Number 12 there for Macedon. That's Baggs, has picked the ball up in a condition like mum's or grandma's sponge cake. It was covered in mud, and then kicked it through, and it's dribbled through for a goal.
Well, Peavy just couldn't pick the ball up there. It was like a slushing match.
It was bad luck for him too. He hit the ground there, and it's like a tidal weight of mud just surged him down. The ball popped out the back. There was going to be a free kick to Macedon anyway, directly in front, but still, that opportunistic kick there by Baggs, well, that could be the game changer.
It's a massively important goal in my opinion, and the Bendigo Bank scoreboard says 7 goals 5, 47 to the Macedon Cats, 2 goals 6, 18 to the Romsey Reds. So back in the centre of the ground now. That's the 20-minute mark. It's getting dangerously close to the end of this quarter. Ball's thrown in the air at last. The Romsey ruckman got it away. That's a pretty good effort by Jed Wobb. Got the ball out onto the centre wing, and a mark to Maurice. Maurice of the Cats has got it now, gone towards the boundary line. There's another man on his own, so they're getting a few disposals now that are working out. Effective disposals. Gone down the wing again, and that's Peavy, I think, has got the mark for the Romsey boys out on the half-back flank. Can he do something with it? There it goes as a short kick in towards the centre.
Ooh.
Nice effort to mark, but couldn't get it. Picked up off the ground nicely.
That's a top.
Kicked 55 metres, I reckon. It's bouncing over the line and out of bounds. And nobody could get to the ball in time, but the ball has covered about 70 metres in the end.
That's an impressive kick. It's transferred the whole game to the next stoppage, around about 70, 80, maybe even 90 metres down the ground, towards the other end of the scoring section here for Romsey. It comes in from a throw-in. No one reads that. Hits the ground fresh without any contact. Bodies diving in. Numbers probably in favour of Romsey, but it's still Macedon getting to them first. There you go. Another example of it. They're backing themselves. Handball quickly away there.
Doyle.
2-1 in favour of Romsey. Great punch away there by Macedon. Off the ground kick. Now they're running. 3-1 as they chase it down there into the hard part of the ground there.
Beautiful work.
Hits the ground. Second effort. Don't argue, but drops it. Gets a second chance to get it away. Can't control it. Romsey have the numbers, but they're not dominating. They should be. Out it gets. Finally, they get control of it. It's messy. They've dropped it. Got it back away again. They're making this hard work. Then it's Pertzel who then gets a kick deep inside the attacking 50.
That's a mark, is it not? No, he didn't mark it.
Tackled without the ball, and the only winner here, the boundary umpire, who'll bring it back in just inside the attacking 50.
Good attempt to mark, though. Gave the bloke a lot of credit for that, and nice work to get it up the ground. Purcell, he's not a bad player, is he, mate?
He's one of the ones who's got poise. In it comes in from the boundary. He's out the back again, Purcell. He's trying to get it there too, but it's not. It's been wrapped up, and it's going to be a ball up, I think, David, about 35 metres on a slight angle there for Romsey.
22-minute mark of the third quarter, and still the scores remain in Macedon's favour, and they'd be pretty happy with a quarter up to date. Ball throw up, that's the ruckman, got it away. Hit out the front of the pack. That's the captain of Romsey, Blair, who's had a shot at goal, a flying shot at goal, but only 1 point resulted, and that takes their scoreboard result onto 2 goals 7, 19 to 7 goals 5, 47 on the Bendigo, the better Big Bank scoreboard.
Chance here now as Macedon bring this out of defence for Romsey to try and lock it in. They're coming out this closer and the wet side to us here. Out it goes. Contest, lots of numbers jump. No one can hold it. Quick kick there by Romsey, but can't get any distance. And it rolls across the boundary line just over the 50-metre arc here for Romsey. So Macedon have really put a chokehold on this game to slow it down and restrict Romsey's creativity in front of goal. Boundary umpire bings it in, spinning out the back there. No one can hold it. Dyer tried, diving on top with his with players from both teams, but no one can really get a clean possession. David will ball up just outside the attacking 50. But my voice is beaten by the words. That's the three-quarter siren, and even though it might be only a 2 or 3 point win in that quarter to Macedon, it's a massive one in comparison to the fact that the end that Romsey were going to was the goal-scoring end, David.
Well, as you point out, not much to gain from either side in that quarter, but I thought that Macedon kept the pressure on and displayed a little more poise during that quarter. Got some effective disposals away, which they weren't doing so well in the first half. It looked okay from Macedon's perspective.
Macedon now have the benefit of sending Romsey into that last quarter to kick what is literally 5 goals up the end of an end that has had no goals today. That's a challenge. That's going to be really hard for Romsey to consider. I'd like to think that, they can do it, and hopefully they can. They've got the skills. Maybe Macedon will tire, but really, there's a real chance here that psychologically Macedon have this game.
Do you know where we'll be going next Saturday? Have you worked that out?
No.
Well, I've got a surprise for you. And the Empress of Wallen will be happy to hear this.
Why is that?
Because we're at no other venue other than the rustic beauty of the Romsey Park.
Unfortunately, the Romsey commentary spot there is somewhere under the bleachers of the old-fashioned scoreboard. And although we will get red onion there, they're smart enough to get themselves a seat over near the bar, and they'll be quite happy and we'll be quite cold.
Well, I'm giving you a piece of information that you'll love. I'm allowing you to take full responsibility for the timekeeper's box while I accompany Red Onion on the other side of the ground.
All right, we'll shift it up. Folks, just so you know here, to repeat here, the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Macedon, 7 goals, 5-47. Romsey 2 goals, 8-20, a 27-point lead, the largest lead so far. And at this point in time, Macedon has themselves in their singular group, listening to the orders, who are being directed by their coach, not in a barking manner, but what a calm, sort of strategic direction. Romsey broken into their groups of 3, talking about how their mid offense and defense can work. They'll then get together in a second and get the last words coming in from their Romsey coach. So both teams now will bring the ball up, see a few changes being made here. And as always in finals football, you get a few more spectators circling around the actual players, listening to the words of the coach. This is something that we love about community football, is in an AFL, you can't hear what the coach is saying, but there's a chance here to get on the ground, have a bit of a listen, find out what's going on with the direction, our strategic direction that the coach is making, and see how they actually implement these requests. Are they falling on deaf ears, or are they able to do it? Right now, it looks like, for all intents and purpose, it's Macedon who are in the box seat. A 27-point lead with 1 quarter to go. With 20 points only on Romsey scored, we're asking them to score more than they've scored in 3 quarters. We're asking them to do that in 1. It's going to be a tough ask.
I'm accepting your apology.
For what?
Well, referring to people with deaf ears, because I'm deaf all the time. And I think that's an insult for disabled people. I'm taking it up with the equal opportunity people and the fair work people. You're finished. And by the way, are you even mildly interested in any other games?
Yeah, so tell me, what's the scoreline? Tell me.
Old Eltham, 8 goals, 2, 50.
Ooh.
Kilmore, 6-5, 41. But that's 11 scoring shots to 10, and it's typical of Kilmore, but they are 9 points
in the rears
down the... Yeah. I was only going to say something very nasty then.
Gurgler.
Yeah, well, yes, Gurgler's all right, but they're in a bit of strife, I'd say, the old Blues.
3/4 time was that?
Yeah, well, it's close to it.
Okay.
If it's not, they'll be an appeal.
That'll be a reversal of fortune, because it's usually Eltham that comes back against that kind of against Kilmore and wrestles the lead back. If Kilmore's going to be doing that, they'll be bucking a trend from their history.
Well, they would be, and as I was going to point out earlier in this conversation during the 3/4 time pools, we'll be broadcasting Wallen next week.
Indeed, from Romsey.
Yes, against Riddle.
Wow.
Top of the ladder
Well,
clash.
they don't get the week off.
Beg your pardon?
They don't get the week off?
No, Riddle got the week off.
Ah, right.
They had this week off, finishing top.
So where's Diggers? Diggers gone?
No, Diggers is playing next week.
Okay.
On Saturday.
Right. Okay. All right.
Well, I don't know whether it's Saturday or Sunday. I'm a bit confused. Anyway, we'll be at Romsey watching Wallen, and Daniel Nolan will be coaching.
Indeed, we ran into Daniel's better half, his wife today, who works for the NRFL, and she does an excellent job.
And we got an expose there. We've got some exclusive information to divulge next week.
I'm sure it'll be all above board there. If you're watching the vision on the live cast here from Facebook on the RDNFL, you'll see that Macedon, keen to go, made their way out of their huddle already and making their way to their positions. They'll be kicking down to that southern end where you can see that coverage going down towards that Beveridge end. The Romsey boys will be moving now back into their positions. They have a titanic challenge ahead of them here. What they cannot afford is for Macedon to get the first goal.
Well, they've got to move the chairs around. That's my opinion.
Yep.
On the Titanic. Here's the thing. The cameraman has done a fantastic job here from Red Onion today, hasn't he?
He has indeed. He's kept us honest to account for him. We don't have the luxury of being slightly creative with radio because no one can see. He's keeping us honest about what the coverage is.
And the good thing is you haven't appeared on camera, which people are eternally grateful for. It's the man in the iron mask, you know.
Yep, so here now chances again back into the middle. The siren's gone to get them back into position. The umpire looking around to see if he can find, making sure that his assistants are all in their right positions. We start this last penultimate quarter here for Macedon versus Romsey. 7-5-47 to 2-8-20. A 27-point lead to Macedon on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And this is a final of significance. And I'm pleased we came today, Matt. It's been an entertaining clash all the way around, notwithstanding a decent break to the Macedon Cats. There's the ball coming up now with this female umpire who's done a pretty good job. There it goes in the air. Dyer's done a fair job, I reckon, in the ruck.
Yep.
He got it away again. Ball gone to the ground. That comes out with a nice hand pass, but the Cats couldn't get possession of it. It's gone to the ground again. A good wrestle. People jumping on each other. What do they call that? Stacks on the mill.
Yep.
And another scrimmage, and the umpire says, we've moved it about 12 metres and I'm going to throw it up again. So there's the ruck contest again. Good Dyer got it down again, but no clearance, and good tackle, and it's on the ground.
David Story's gone in for Romsey, has gone in there to do the ruck, number 15 there too. Dyer is leaping all over him. Watch the movement there from Dyer. He gets the run up, jump over the top of him, and Story's having trouble getting control of that one. Free kick being found out, kicking in danger, and now is a chance here for Romsey to go forward through number 7 there.
Jedwab.
Haven't seen a lot of him today. He kicks it wide. Push off was well done.
That's
there
the captain.
by Blair. Tries to get down to it. Oh, they're all over the top of them. Free kick not found, and the boundary umpire's the winner on the far side there of the oval.
Well, there it is. Half-back flank just on the near the scoreboard, not far from the scoreboard, and a fair way from goal, about 60, 70 metres from goal. Boundary throw in. It's high in the air, and the Rucks set themselves again. They're a bit worried about Dyer, I reckon, because they've moved the players around to compete in the ruck. Unless the guy is injured, we don't know about that. The ball is in the scrimmage situation again, and the umpire's coming in to throw it up again.
The clock is the angel to the Macedon team. Every second that goes by works in their favour. Up it goes, and the first goal you would want to come from for Romsey. A knockback down that sends Dyer to the ground. A bit more physicality coming here from Romsey as they get dragged into the ground. And the umpire said we'll have a ball up. And we're literally back to where we were almost 2 minutes ago, David.
Bags did well with his body there. He stopped the people from getting out with it. He's got a good, strong body, Bags. The ball's up in the air again, and Dyer and his opponent went for it, didn't do anything clever, and the ball's on the ground again after a rugby tackle, and the umpire will have to get the game underway again. So there we are, right in the centre of the ground, still not much movement, and Dyer trying hard to get the ball away, but nobody could clear it, and they're jumping all over one another, but finally it goes towards the Cats forward line, but that's a hand pass out the back, 2-on-1, 2-2, 3-2, who's going to get the ball out? Oh, he went in hard, that guy, right, he did a good job too to get the ball out, and the umpire says that's a free kick.
He's got a bit high here, so here's a chance for Romsey. They get this goal here, and the game starts to move the direction they want to. But it's a long-distance kick, David.
It is a long-distance kick. He didn't even try it. It's kicked it about 40 metres, and that's a punch over the back. It's gone towards the boundary line. I can't see what's happening now, Matt.
Now it goes there wide. Their numbers out towards that side of the ground is certainly in Macedon's favour. Romsey need to lock this ball in. They need to get this first goal to change the momentum and to hopefully give them some drive to go forward. But right now, It's a hard gig as the umpire, boundary, will bring it back in, probably about 45 metres out or 40 metres out from Romsey's goal. It's a high throw. Dyer's up there to it. He taps down to find a running Romsey player who can't get the ball away. And because he took 4 or 5 steps and got wrapped up and didn't dispose, it's holding the ball. A few pushes. The umpire's not happy. And it looks like we're going back down that path of a 50 metre. Yep.
Goodness.
And I said it before, Romsey's coach, apoplectic about the attitudes. This is the last thing that Romsey need. Energy spent in the wrong space.
Have you ever seen an umpire do that?
Nope.
Run with the ball?
Run with the ball, give it back now, say, let's move it on. And now here's a chance here for number 12 here for Macedon. That looks like Bags, the secret goal kicker. He's
Tough body.
Yep, kick it deep down inside the attacking 50. The big men jump. No one can hold it out the back. Numbers favouring Romsey there, but it's Macedon who jump on top. They lock it in and again work the clock down in every way that favours the Macedon game plan.
Centre half forward, about 40 metres from goal. No angle to speak of, and the ball's high in the air. Good ruck contest. Knox got it down, or threw himself out forward trying to get a free kick, the Romsey lad, but couldn't get it. And what's the umpire going to do?
Going to Macedon. So
well, he's paying a free kick to Macedon.
Story was probably a little bit possibly clumsy there in his technique, but either way, someone's come down on the Macedon player.
Very fortunate, I'd say.
Trying to make out who that actually is there, David.
Well, so am I, and perhaps the umpire is as well.
19 possibly there for Macedon.
Well, it's there's been a few decisions like this, though, where there's been scuffling about who actually's got the footy. There he is. I see him now. He's got it. He's about 40 metres from goal. And what's he done? That's a nice-looking kick. It's a very nice-looking kick, as a matter of fact. And that's one point the goal umpire says. So the Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 4-minute mark, or nearly the 5-minute mark at the last quarter. And it's not much movement for Romsey's perspective, and they'd be unhappy that the ball was up there. So the fullback has got it out to the man in the back pocket. He's looking everywhere to see if he can find a man on his own, and he's kicked it around the boundary line. No mark, and it's gone. Oh, no, he has marked it. He's marked it. That's fair enough too. And he's got the footy half-back flank. That's a short kick, and that's a dog kick, if you don't mind me saying so, sir. That's Morris has got it.
Yeah, Story had that, but he slipped over in the last seconds. He's a little bit frustrated with himself now. Here's a chance for Morris, though, to have a big kick to the top of the square, David.
Yes, well, that's a lousy kick. He's, in fact, kicked it towards the 2 defenders in front of the pack, and they haven't tried to mark it. That Sleever has kicked it, pushed it over the line and out of bounds. Is he related to the Melbourne Lever, do you think?
Possibly. Could be. Not a common name there. Boundary umpire now bends his back, sends him flying back inwards. Story by himself now, whacks it back out there, but only finds a Macedon player who kicks downward towards the goal.
Good effort.
Can't be held. Extra efforts there by the defence.
Oh, he bounced it.
And the first bounce of the day, kick under pressure, goes towards the centre of the ground. Can't be held. Extra efforts there to try and get it out.
Good tackle.
The tackle is firm, holds in place.
Took it off him,
tried to get it back out. Again, the Macedon boys are trying hard now, outnumbered off the ground. That was straight into a Romsey player, and then flicks it out the back, and now here's a chance for Romsey to get away if they can get the mark.
Good mark.
That's a good mark there to number 28.
Peterson
now, he looks down for trying to find Story. Bang, goes through his player, turns, kicks with a rush, not towards anyone particular. In come the bodies, bang the tackle.
Through it.
And this is where Macedon again repel back forward.
Hildebrand.
Looking for someone, can't find it. There's a late tackle there. Shepherd and Macedon get the ball and will line up for a shot, and you can't help but say...
Man on the ground.
That's a nail in the coffin situation. There's a player down there, David.
That's the man on the ground. He's
lifting him up. And he looks like he's doing better because he's got a shot at goal possibly. No, it's going to be Knox who's going to take it. The man down there, I would say, is winded. We'll just try and work out who that is. That's number 30 there, I think it is, David. That's.
By the way, when you're winded, you feel like you're dead.
Yep. You can't. Have got no muscle control, nothing at all. So he's taking a bit of a breather here to try and get some air into the lungs.
So the old Fort Knox has got it again in a goal-kicking position. He's a very nice kick of the footy. Knows what to do with the Sharon. He's about 32 metres, I reckon, from goal, judging by my very accurate distance modifier. And here he goes. We're right behind him, Matt. We can see everything he's doing. He's walking slowly. There he goes. Running up now. He's getting faster. That's a nice looking kick, but it's going across the face of goal, and it's going to split the point post and the goal post.
Dragged his left from the right to the left there, and the direction there didn't follow through straight. Kind of pulled the ball a little bit with his kick, so a minor score. Short kick there finds out to Pertzel, who's been one of the rare skill sets there coming in from Romsey. Kicking back to where they are. Probably given up 5 minutes in all honesty. Don't know why they do that there, but now gone wide again, finding a loose player in the back pocket, looking for assistance again. Can they find it? They do with number 4. That's Lever. He's in a strong position. He handballs off there, running player, looking for someone, not able to find it, and only finding number 13 there for Macedon. That's Hoyne. He kicks it, centres the ball. No one can pick that one up. Chance here for to handball out wide, but it goes to no one particular. Pertzel again gets it. Tries to find a mark, does this time. Starting to put things together a little bit now, Romsey, but they're not getting much ground in their effort, David, as they're going up the wing.
No, that's right. They're not making too much of an inroad. There's 26 has got it. That's Peterson. There's 2 of those, of course. I'm never sure which one's got it, but the ball's punched out the front of the pack, and they're running with it. Romsey's got the footy now. That's a left footer's gone up towards centre half forward. He's a dangerous player, 25. He's gone to the ground. Didn't try to get the ball away, in fact, and there's a scrimmage again, another wrestle, and the umpire's coming in to say, I think I'll throw this one up.
This could be a good move. Story being placed further up here at the forward line. He's lost a lot of his energy, but he's still a big target to go for. The umpire's not happy with something. Given out a free kick, and it's going to Romsey's way. Number 32 here in Smith. He handballs off to number 1 in Blair, who short passes, but the kick's terrible over the back of Bullis, who has it in defence. And the Bendigo Bank save of the day there comes out wide, fighting 36 and Delahaye. And Delahaye now will go down the ground and buy some time out for the Cats. He looks down, can't find it. Good defensive punch there by Blair. And there's cheers, although remonstrating. There's still a little bit of aggro going on between these two teams. Still with 10 minutes to go. There's a few chit-chats going on. They should be focusing on the actual game itself. As the
have a look at the scoreboard he's telling him.
Yep, have a look at the scoreboard. Boundary umpire brings it back in. It's the ruckman there who tries to get the ball down and away, and all he's able to do, though, is get it out of bounds in the full and give Romsey a chance to go back into attack.
Well, centre wing. Ball's out of bounds. Romsey got the footy. He's coming down along the wing. And that's number 12's got it.
It's Patterson.
Patterson. It's the other Patterson, of course, and that's a mark to a defender. Number 20 has got it, Walker. Walker! That's the Phantom.
Texas.
Kick Walker.
Tex. That's the problem here, that Romsey's attack there was a blind shot into the forward line. There was no one targeted. The kick coming out, it's dangerous.
Nice kick. Nice kick.
High. It's a hospital-like. They fly, and the only winner now was the boundary line.
Yes, well.
The clock ticks, David. 11 minutes gone.
11 minutes gone. Still a significant difference. 29 points. That's a big margin at this point. Pushed him in the back. Didn't get a free kick. Nobody got a free kick out of it. Comes out the back of the pack. They got the footy, left footer. Kicks it up towards the forward line, but nice defensive work. That's Dick, the ex-Carlton player, who's got the footy. He should know what to do. Take your time, son. And that's a nice-looking kick. He's kicked it right along the boundary line, and that's a 1-on-3, but fortunately it's gone over the Reds and over the line and out of bounds. 3 defenders there for Romsey, and not a one of them could grab the footy. And Dick has taken it about 50 metres up the boundary.
Strategically smart. He's got himself an extra 50, you said, David.
Yeah,
50
true.
metres. Now the ball comes back in. It goes out the back. Dyer there can't control it. Hits the ground running there. Blair's dive on top. Fast hands there by Romsey. A chance for the kick is blindly done. 2 1-on-1 here.
That's a mark,
strong
sir.
mark to number 7 there. Jedrob. He's doing excellent effort. It's a kick. 1-on-1. Looking for Story. Can't find him. The smaller men have a kick over the shoulder. There's a chance here. Mark's attempt there. Bending down.
Oh, well done, mate.
Shot a goal and it's through. And Romsey get there first for more than a quarter and a half of football.
That's a brilliant piece of play, if you don't mind me saying so, because he outplayed the defender, in fact, to get that footy and waltz around him for a nice little short shot at goal. Hands on the hips now, demonstrating that he's confident about what he's just done. And that's number 19. That's Burkett. And that's a good goal to them and a handy one right at this point in time. The Bendigo Bank scoreboard, is it?
Yeah, it is indeed.
3 goals, 8, 26. To 7 goals, 7-49. The scoreboard has narrowed in favour of Macedon, but still a handy break at the 12-minute mark at the last quarter.
Anything's possible here, guys. A fast goal by Romsey and the game changes. Up it goes in the middle. The Rucks jump. Probably a win there to Macedon. They get out the back there with a quick kick inside the attacking 50. They don't need a turnaround goal. Quick response here, Romsey. They need to fight their way back, but no one can get control of it. No. Tackles without the ball there in the back, and it's a free kick to Macedon. This could be that nail in the coffin. This is exactly what Macedon wants.
Crikey.
Lining up for a shot at goal there, trying to make out the number who it is. It is Knox again, and he's their goal scorer. He'll be going for at least goal number 4, I think, for this game, who's made an imprint on this game.
Look how far he's gone back, mate.
He's gone as far back as Pennsylvania, mate.
He's going wherever that is. That's 90 metres. He couldn't kick it that far. Here he goes now. He's coming up. Where is he going to kick it from? The 50-metre mark. That's a very long kick. It's a nice-looking kick, but it won't be accurate. And that's just a single point. But nevertheless, it's a score, and Macedon will be happy about it being up that end of the ground.
24-point lead now to Macedon. 13 and a half minutes gone. Romsey looked to come out of defence. They run it out at their full 15. Kick it deep outside the 50. Looking for a target.
Oh, good mark, sir.
Yeah, good mark there by the Romsey defender. Now they'll try and bring it back from the back flank out towards the wing here. Looking for number 19. Now they're starting to lead and pass. Maybe Macedon is tiring.
That was the goal kicker, by the way.
They need to get a goal out of this.
Nice kick.
Right into the middle. Mark held there by Romsey. Strong hands overhead. And again, going forward now. The chance inside the 50. Number 5 here for Romsey.
Tinkler.
He's a Taylor Spy. Who knows? Kicks it forward.
Him.
Bang. Mark
Another
held,
one.
but it's outside the 50. It's going to be another pass. This is where Macedon need to take out the opponent, but they can't. The player is knocked down, and we're going to have a ball in. So there is still a chance here, but the next goal needs to go to Romsey, and it needs to go there now.
Well, it's on the half-back flank. The boundary umpire got it. The pack circling, ready for this throw-in. There it goes, high in the air. Big throw, by the way. Oh, pushed him out. The Macedon lad got the footy away. Romsey got possession of the footy, kicked it now into the centre-half forward's position. Oh, this man that Matt loves has got the footy, but he's thrown it away. That's a dead set throw.
That's a pity.
Dead set throw. And that's a free kick to Macedon. Centre half back. He's coming out onto the western side of the ground in front of the commentary box. 39's got it. That's Sal Pietro. How's that one, Matt?
Great nay there. The salt and pepper of his hair. When he took that mark, he showed the world. It might be one of his only possessions today. But here's his kick. It goes down the line. True centre wing. Up they fly.
Oh, what a good effort for a mark.
And a chance now for Romsey to move the ball quicker now. They're finding second efforts. There's another handball. They're moving it well. Handballs are quick. Here's a chance to the top of the square, but it's all Macedon in there. They've overrun it. There's a chance for the ball to come out now and a shot. The kick's going forward, and it's a back-to-back goal to Romsey.
Di Pietro
gets a second goal for the quarter, and we're back now down to what is an 18-point game, 3 goals, and you live and you wonder in hope, David, could Romsey steal something?
And I love these Asian players getting goals, don't you? Di Pietro, Sal Pietro.
I think it might be Spanish, David.
Oh, Spanish? Oh, goodness. What a surprise. Well, they're 2 good goals, by the way. They were earned goals.
They were hard-earned goals. And
no free kicks or anything there.
Handball movement on the outside wing here. They've finally learned how to move the game around to get around Macedon. Now Macedon need to adapt. The clock, 16 minutes gone. Not long left. Again, it needs to be a Romsey goal, and it needs to be now.
In the centre of the ground, and good contest in the ruck. Ball going to the captain of Romsey, Blair, but he couldn't get the ball away, and still there's a man in the van. Hand pass out the back. Macedon got it. That's good work. Good work. He took the effort to get the ball away. Hung on it a minute longer. They got the footy now going up onto the half-back flank. Man out in front, hit the ball hard, and he's going towards the boundary line. He'd be happy to see that over. He's escorted it over into Ford track, Ford track. Yes, that's all right. We're allowed to say that because of Centenary Ford, the sponsors of ours, and the ball's out of bounds on the half-back flank.
Great play by the Macedon player there to nullify that ball and put it out the boundary.
He hit it hard, Matt.
Yep.
There's look at that throw-in, mate. Jingos, I can't believe it. It's high in the air. No ruck contest winner there. Ball's on the deck again, and the goal umpire. What is he? A field umpire's coming in to say I'm going to throw it up again. Yep. So a half-forward flank for the Macedon Cats. They're trying to keep possession of the footy up that end of the ground, lock it in. That's the idea. Balls are high in the air. Rucks go for it, and good contest. No winner, clear winner. Ball gone towards the ground again, and another scrimmage and another throw up. Macedon will be happy to do this. 17 minutes gone.
Yep, 17.5 minutes out of the way now too. Every scrimmage here, every stoppage here actually works in their favour with 3 straight scoring shots. The ball down their end of the ground, punched there by Knox, playing both a ruck roll too. A late bump there too as the players' skills start to give way as they start to get tired. The ball trying to get out, and the umpire swallowed the whistle to try and give as much time to get it free, but he can't because he's probably tired himself with the amount of ball ups he's doing. He raises his hand to stop the clock. The players fish the ball out there. 18 minutes gone, and now the umpire gets it back there. Players position themselves around there. Blair hunting for the ball on the side there, up against his same number one on the opposition. Tap back down now. Here's a chance for Macedon. They handball it out, get it moving the right way, but it's a tough tackle there, and it's Macedon who trying to get the ball out, but Romsey now going forward, get it down the ground. The numbers all in Macedon's favour. They're having trouble controlling it. They send it back down the line, but the defence is better set up by Romsey. If they build from here, they've got a chance. Out wide, they're taking the scenic route.
That's the
they
captain.
Can't control it. And great play by Macedon. Took it off him, sent it back down into the 50. Any score, here's a good score. A shot at goal.
If you don't
over
mind.
the shoulder. And that might be the fat lady that sang, because that's the goal by number 9 there by Macedon. That's Cook, the master chef, who's done a great job of being at the right place, the right time, and executing a goal over the shoulder. And by the body language of Macedon, they know how much that means.
If you don't mind, sir, after all the attempts to score backwards and forwards, sideways, and that 45 to 50 metre goal with nobody in the goal square, if you don't mind me pointing out, Matt.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker there for Romsey. It's an uphill battle now with 19 and a half minutes gone. But we hope they can try and fight this one out as the ball goes back into the middle, David.
There it is. Ruck throw up again. Dyer got the hand of the footy again. They've cleared it this time, got it away. That's Collins has kicked it right up into the forward line. An attempt to punch it over the back by Macedon. Ball's on the deck. They're fighting hard for it, and a good scruffle and a good scraggle, and the umpire's coming in to say, I'm going to chuck it up. It's about 25 metres out from the goal. That's Macedon's goal. Southern end of the ground, directly in front of it. So the ruck's getting set now. Can they get the ball out of the pack? Ball high in the air. The rucks went for it. No clearer. Romsey got it away. They've kicked it about 30 metres up the ground. They've got possession of the footy. Macedon, he's kicked it high in the air. That's about a 40-metre kick. Out the back. Is it a mark? No, it's not. It's gone to the ground. They're struggling and fighting. It's hard going in there. Don't stand in the way.
No one's got the energy to fight, David. There's no roughhousing because everyone is spent. Every player there giving every inch of their energy towards it. Wow, it's a tough fight there, David.
4 goals, 8 to 8 goals, 8 at the 20-minute mark in the final stanza. And it's right in front of the Macedon goal. So chance for a score here. The ball's out the front of the pack. He tried to kick it over his shoulder, but he wasn't flexible enough. Ball gone to the ground. They've jumped on him. 12 blokes have jumped on him. And the umpire said, well, I can't find out what's going on there, folks, so I'm going to throw it up again.
24-point lead. Even a point here mathematically helps Macedon. It just makes it 5 direct scoring shots. Stories come down for Romsey, looking for an opportunity to get tapped out of the ruck there. Again, hits the ground. We're looking like we have the 4th ball up in over a minute's time here. All of this time clicking, ticking works in the favour of Macedon as Romsey just feels like that bomb's about to go and the siren goes.
It's mobile wrestling there, mate.
We can't be far.
Mobile wrestling, they're just pushing each other around, hard body work. Ball punched out the back of the pack, and that's a nice clearing kick, and Romsey got it, can't get rid of it though. Ball gone to the ground, a hand pass by Macedon, the guys picked it up, a nice hand pass out, the man standing on his own, but he couldn't handle the footy. The Shirin went to the ground and they've jumped on it again. And another scrimmage, and that's scrimmage number 246 for this match.
I think that's an underestimation, David, but you're right. It's been one of those games. It's hard, it's down and under. Even when the Romsey players right are taking to a knee because they're out of energy. Up they go.
Dyer again.
Out the back. Romsey reads it better. It's free and open in the area now. They bend over quick to get it, but the Macedon players en masse circle around.
Hand pass.
Is it a hand pass or a flick? Doesn't really matter. There's a shot out of it. It goes down the ground. The mark can't be held. It's directly in front. They wrap up the tackle. Desperate last line of defence here by Romsey, living perpetually on hope that they've got to stop any kind of score coming out of this end of the ground, David.
Nelly marked the right then, took it down around his ankles, and a bit disappointing he wasn't able to hang on to it. It was a good effort. Ball now thrown up by the umpire. Hasn't got the footy, by the way, that bloke.
The ball, though. He got before the tackle, he didn't dispose of it.
You know, we can see it how we see it, but I thought that was a free kick to him.
Yeah, going back over the mark now.
Yep.
Again, they're being a little bit particular about these things. The fullback now looks down that same side. He's played on quickly. It's a rushed kick, but finally he finds somebody on the far side there. That's number 7 there, David, for Romsey. That's Jebwa, who's been popping up in this better part of the last half.
Look at this. They're 4 goals behind, mate, in the last quarter, and he's kicked it 50 metres across the ground.
He's found,
there's a man in the centre half-back position, and that's a hand pass. They're running. That's better style. Kick it up the guts, mate. That's where to go. No, nothing. Look at that. He's kicked it straight to a Macedon man, standing on his own, hand marked it. And then there's a kick into the middle of the ground. What a nice-looking kick that one was. And if he's got any brains, this guy will take his time. That's number 20.
That's it, David. That's Walker. He's going to make the kick.
Is he going to have a kick?
He doesn't care.
No, he's not even going to make a try because he's 80 metres from goal, perhaps. And that's the end of an entertaining game, but nevertheless one that Romsey would be disappointed with, I'm sure. Macedon have come over. And the umpire and the player are now shaking hands and having a chat about the game. That umpire, by the way, I need to say this, Matt, having spent most of my life on umpiring, that one umpire, he loves the theatrics of it. He loves the grandstand free kicks, as I call them, and he likes to demonstrate that he's in charge of the game. I think he gets most of them right, but nevertheless, it's an unfortunate trade in umpires. The rest of them I thought were pretty good.
Indeed to say, David, that Macedon on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard again, 8-8-56. Romsey, 4-8-32. What's that, a 24-point win? Straight 4 goals equally. Macedon achieving something that they haven't achieved all year. They've beaten the team above them on the day that it mattered. They came to a neutral ground where the weather was inclement to a certain degree. The ground was unfriendly. They brought the endeavour. They brought that sound mind. And although early on showed some signs of some ill temper, they rallied better, especially in that second quarter. And that deficit from that second quarter is pretty much the deficit that you're seeing at the end of the game.
I thought the game was worthy of a final, and a good effort all round by 42 players who gave it everything they had.
Indeed.
So what does that mean for the competition overall? Could either of those teams beat Wallen in last week's form?
You'd say, well, how they played against Diggers, you'd say no, but these are 2 different teams. The skill sets on both these teams, I think, were better than Diggers, and so that could potentially change the game. It's hard to sort of tell at this point in time. I thought Macedon came to play. I think the pivotal quarter was the second quarter, where they dominated with a blitzkrieg of about 5 goals over around about 8 or 9 minutes, and that was the game changer. The great thing to see here is players shaking hands, and here, a quick note here there is that one of the players here for Romsey, who I think Peavy, who played a really good game, has run all the way up to congratulate the opposition captain and give us a hug. So this league's in a healthy state, and it's great to see these teams playing so professionally.
Just before the timekeeper goes, who did you think was the best player for Macedon today? Bit of a tough one. Hoyne played pretty well. I was surprised by Dyer, to tell you the truth, because I was prepared not to like him early in the game after he shepherded in the ruck. But I thought he came back good during the rest of the game.
Dyer or Hoyne, I think.
Good man. Thanks for your help today.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. So, Matt, that's the conclusion of our broadcast here today, I believe. We won't be doing our normal summaries of other games, or do you want me to check on Kilmore before we go?
If you want to give a yell out there to Kilmore, in case if you can, I'll just quickly cover the fact here. As the cars stream out here too, I have to give a big shout out to our Red Onion guys here who have done a fantastic job. They not only have kept us alert in the case of regards to our radio requirements, but also the visual aspect, which is that new part of the game that we're finding. They've done an excellent job, and their camera work is extraordinarily professional. So thank you to them, RDFNL, and their relationship with us too. This is beginning to build something great for OKRFM and the collective, and we're looking forward to working with them in the future. Lastly, to say here too, both these teams go back in with a review of what they've done today, with the hope that they can build on that importance. Macedon, I'm almost calling the giant killers. They haven't done this at any time in this year, and now they go back in, and the most important day, they take a team out in Romsey who are above them. Now they would go in with a renewed vigour that they can do something that they've never been able to do before. They will run on a perpetual hope that they can, when they do potentially meet up with a team like Wallen, they can take it to them. David, scores from around the ground?
Old Otham Collegians, 9-5-59. Kilmore, 7-8-50. Looks like a very tough battle for Kilmore to retain their place in the final series.
Okay, so we'll keep our eyes on that one.
And as you said, Red Onion, RDNFL, OKR, the voice of sport in the region.
Indeed it is. So I'd like to say thank you out to our timekeepers. Thank you there to David. It's been a great call. Looking forward to seeing you next week.
How are you?
I am.
Well, that's a surprise because the other 18 weeks of the season you said you was hoping I didn't turn up next
The
week.
restraining order didn't come through.
But that's the way it goes. And the Empress of Wallen, she'll be down there next week, no doubt. Thanks for your help. And I think all we need to say is it's good afternoon from me.
And it's good afternoon from him.
And that's it for us from OKR. Keep on listening during the week. You can become a member of OKR if you wish to, and do that at an early time, www.okrfm.com.au. And the voice of sport, as I said, in the region, we'll see you next Saturday.